You know how we do it, Becky? We like start
Come
together.
to a fan audience.
3, 2, 1. Boom! Welcome to the 225 podcast with your host, Noah Ray, Andrew Cargill, me, Matthew Alazadi, and a very, very special host.
Woohoo!
Goes by many names. Rebecca Holcomb.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Not my government name.
World champion powerlifter, coach, mom, wife.
Wow. Do you know something?
Wow.
I don't? Like, wow. Okay.
What else?
You're off to a great start, man.
Northeastern powerlifting, coach to Kennesaw, barbell.
Knows her way around powerlifting, the gym, everything like that. Super knowledgeable.
A friend.
One of the most knowledgeable people that I've had the opportunity to talk to, and actually does coach me and Matthew. So yeah, she helps us out tremendously. I'm only in like week 3, already seeing like a lot of fun things, good things are going down. So super exciting. But yeah, we have her on the podcast. Figured we have a bunch of questions lined up from someone that.
We got a bunch of supplements.
Supplements and stuff that, she knows she's been powerlifting probably longer than we've all been alive. So we're doing gym.
I am not that old.
But in that aspect, I'm just saying like a long time.
Guys, you were both at a
God.
horrible start right now.
But
Y'all
you can't
are.
be like in the Arnold like a year into training. Like
Actually, I went to the
powerlifting.
Arnold after a year and a half. Thank you very much.
Oh, this is stupid.
Wow. Okay. You know what? I didn't do my research. Okay. It's my bad. Okay.
I qualified at my first nationals
Wow.
in 2014.
Yeah. They probably
You're a piece
invited
of
her
crap.
to nationals.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 10 years now.
This is crazy.
Almost.
Almost 10 years now. Anyway, okay. Energy drink review. Now that I'm
change the
embarrassed, I'm going to completely change the subject. So today we have lemon lime prime.
Yeah,
I'm so
$1
excited.
at Vitamin Shop. So
That's cheaper than the gas station.
Yeah. So you want to pass those down? I got one for each of us.
double it and give it to the next person.
Wow. Yeah, I'm still embarrassed on that.
Yeah, I can't blame you.
That is pretty embarrassing.
But yeah, so I saw these. It was my turn this week. We decided go for lemon lime prime.
Let's do it at the same time.
Wow,
Dude, you really jumped the gun.
All right.
No, yeah, us.
Oh.
I was late. I was slacking.
All right. So one sip. Everyone knows the rules.
Tastes like Mountain Dew.
That's exactly like Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Ooh, and I
It's a
like
little
Mountain Dew.
brighter than Mountain Dew, but I liked it.
I like Mountain
Wow.
Dew.
So, fact that I'm slightly ashamed of. In college, after we'd have morning practice, I would definitely have a Diet Mountain Dew at breakfast.
Yeah.
Hey,
that's
you know
fair.
what?
That's how
You're sitting in a
I
house
like Mountain
with
Dew.
2 dogs for diet soda.
I go almost
I don't get the hype.
probably 3 days a week to the McDonald's right there and get a Diet Coke, large Diet Coke, almost like a lot of the time. And when I used to work in construction, we'd all go, the gas stations and stuff beforehand. I'd get like a 32-ounce styrofoam cup and fill it with Diet Mountain Dew or Diet Coke, one of the two.
I'm a Mountain Dew.
It was terrible. That was like before I was really taking the gym super seriously. And that was like my hydration.
That's the superior hydration we've been looking for.
It was
Exactly.
Mountain Dew for me, Diet Mountain Dew, I should say, was before I discovered energy drinks.
Yeah.
That Mountain Dew is crushable. Like a 12-ounce can is like 3 sips.
Also, one thing
Yeah.
I learned is it's the most caffeine in a diet energy or diet drink. So I would drink like, the 32, 48-ounce ones, and I'd be jittery. Like, I'd be actually shaking in the truck, like, kind of freaking out. No, they actually have, it has quite a bit of caffeine in it. That's really good. I'm going to give that...
That's way better than what I thought it was going to be.
That's an 8.2 for me. Wow. 8.2.
If we're going citrus flavors, probably 8.
Okay.
8.5 maybe.
Okay. Fair.
This is my first Prime energy drink.
I had a Blue Raz one this morning. It
How was that
better
one?
than Blue Raz.
Okay.
By a lot. I'd probably give Blue Raz like a 7. 6
Yeah,
8.
still
I'd give
solid.
this like a 7.7.
Yeah.
I'd buy it. It's solid, but it's just like
I don't like the little
reliable.
can.
I knew it was
I
going
want
to
You
say
and the
that.
little
Big
cans,
can.
man.
Okay, I heard all of this with you guys in the little cans.
That's-
That is Noah. That is
As
Noah.
someone who
He's
is
got a little can
a
problem.
woman
Okay?
and I have to pee more frequently while I'm lifting, I wowould take the little can because it is less liquid.
No.
Higher concentration, less liquid.
I want a 16-ounce can, 100%.
No.
Because I
But
don't have to.
Here's
pee.
what.
And you also haven't had 2 children either, so.
that's fair. But I don't know. I get a satisfaction out of holding like a Monster can or like a Rain can.
Yeah.
I mean, in the little, like I feel like I'm drinking a little White Claw. Like, not really my go-to. Don't really want to like, little dainty little can. I don't really want.
Well, okay,
I like
because
the bigger can.
I don't think this was brought up until like later on. We had the C-Bum drinks, and you never mentioned anything.
Yeah.
Drew and I were
Yeah, because that I can get a Diet Coke in that type of can. Like
feel like
that
that's
can
what I
or
can
like
choose.
So you wouldn't drink that as like a
thicker can.
pre-workout drink then?
That?
No, the C-Bum.
No, well, it's only
C-Bum's like
15 milligrams.
yeah.
Okay, well,
I mean,
What
it's
is
a
your
good,
rating?
like, morning start.
I like
I'm
this.
saying.
I can drink it and go to sleep.
See, there's 2 12-ounce cans, 112 a can. Why not 2 cans?
That's facts.
Yeah, that is true. We
Now
have
is
done
that
before.
is that $7 or
Yeah.
Is it worth
God they
the
went down.
price?
No. Well,
Okay, now it does. So when we first got the
It
cans,
was like $3.80 a single.
$3.89 for a single can, so it was $4. But then we
Yeah.
went like a week later, and it was down to like $2.50.
better.
Yeah, $2.49.
You
So
could just go to Starbucks and get, like, a triple iced espresso.
yeah,
That's facts.
yeah.
That's
it was-
been-
coffee guy though.
Ooh, I love coffee.
I like my iced caramel drinks.
Okay,
Oh.
if you like that, get an iced espresso with sea salt caramel cold foam on top.
Oh, okay, that sounds weird.
And
sounds
if you
pretty
like it super sweet, you can get some like caramel drizzle in the cup and on top. Jay likes that because he's like, his coffee has to be so sweet and so gross.
Not real coffee.
But
That's what I'm talking
I
about.
love.
just with the salted caramel cold foam on top, I usually get a triple shot. It like is the perfect sweet and coffee, and you gotta get the
Yeah.
blonde roast because the blonde roast doesn't
blonde roast?
taste
The
burnt.
lighter roast.
And it also has more caffeine.
Yeah. My dad hates
That's actually a
Starbucks.
Is it a lie?
Yeah.
I thought blonde roast had more caffeine.
Oh, this is
Ooh, the coffee man.
coffee
Oh, this
expert.
guy.
I love this conversation.
I just opened
this
up
is my
a can of
party.
worms.
This is my party. What'd you say?
So I just opened up a can of worms.
Did. So caffeine is actually not based on the roast. It's based on the plant itself and how tall or short the coffee tree is.
Is it like
So
the taller
it-
or shorter?
A shorter coffee tree has more caffeine
Makes sense,
because
'cause it's
caffeine's
not
a natural
energy.
deterrent to predators, and a taller tree has less caffeine because its way of deterring was being taller. So if you're like, now when I worked at a coffee shop, I wouldn't tell people that because like they just didn't care. But if like
Yeah.
you're genuinely looking for the most caffeine, it's the shorter bush. And Starbucks gets their beans from like 3 billion different places that
You can't really tell. It's not really trackable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's fair.
Well, get the blonde roast because it tastes better.
it tastes better, right?
It tastes significantly
That
better.
still sounds fantastic. I'm gonna try to do that.
Well,
It's good.
We went through the McDonald's drive-through yesterday, and
Yeah,
what did
was
you
he
call it?
yesterday?
He got his little his large caramel iced coffee, and said, "What is it? Your well, what did you call it?"
Oh, crap! What?
Why are you looking at me?
I'm trying to. Well, you're the coffee guy. What is it?
It was so
Did
funny.
you get a frap?
No, I got
that's
a large caramelized coffee because I got him a Diet Coke.
Yeah.
And it was crap. What was it? What do they normally call like the drinks?
It was like a
They go through like
bitch drink or something.
yeah.
He did the little
Basic
sleigh
bitch.
thing or whatever. It was so
Yeah.
funny.
Bad
It's-
bitch o'clock.
Oh my god.
That's literally what it was. So funny.
My large size coffee, rolling around, pulled up to MBB with it. I was ready
That
to
sends
start.
you straight to the bathroom.
I hope you weren't squatting that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Wait, no, it was deadlifts. It was deadlifts. Thank goodness.
But yeah, so if we do not have enough caffeine in this house, we were gonna.
He brought more.
A lot more.
Brought a lot more. So, can you tell us a little bit about who Buff Chicks are and kind of that company?
Because I've only heard of them through you.
Yeah.
And once
Oh,
I heard them,
really?
like they've kind of like popped up more in my stuff.
As you can see, we are not buff chicks.
Well, speak for yourself. All right.
Yeah, so Buff Chicks was started by everyone calls her Meg Squats, and she wanted to create a supplement company that pretty much was third-party tested because you don't find that a lot now.
Yeah.
And third-party tested means that it is free of ingredients that could make you fail a drug test.
Okay.
That's yeah, and everything is like so. After they make it, like they're really strict on the ingredients. They test the ingredients, and then after they make it, then they test it again to make sure that it's free of anything that could cause you to fail.
I can appreciate that.
Yes.
So are you
Yes.
also getting the assurance that their amounts of supplements are what they say they are?
Yes.
'Cause that's a big issue. But
And also, like, they don't have a ton of ingredients either. I like
noticed
that
that.
too. They try to go for a more natural sugar. I shouldn't say sugar because it's not really sugar. Sweetener
Yeah.
as well. And then the flavors they just keep coming out with bangers. Like, I just got a shipment, and it releases tomorrow, and it has peach Bellini and mimosa. So. So I brought both of those pre-workouts for you guys to try, and then I don't remember what flavor the greens was. Is that
It was pina colada.
Pina colada
And I-
green.
We were very excited
that
for pina
sounds
colada.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It smelled
So-
like it too when you opened it.
Yeah, so we got some red Solo cups. I'll go ahead and pass this out. I'll put my mic down.
Oh, and there's flavored creatine, which I like because sometimes you don't want your creatine in with your pre-workout, or if you take it separately,
Yeah.
it's a good flavor. The strawberry kiwi
Well, I love,
now is my favorite.
I love like
Outside of
Whoa.
the sour lemon.
Did you hear that?
She's
Wait, which one's your favorite?
This is sour.
Wait, which one's your favorite?
So I really like the strawberry kiwi,
Okay, this is
and I
important.
really like the sour lemon, but I haven't tried the new ones yet.
Okay.
What is this?
Sour lemon.
Wait, so this is sour lemon.
So we're
what?
trying sour
What
lemon
is this?
pre-workout.
Oh, this is sour.
Yep. Would you like?
I love lemon flavored
Or do you
stuff.
want?
I'll take some.
Come on.
I'm gonna have so much caffeine today.
We go on the train.
About the flavored creatine, I love just like drinking anything.
Yeah.
I'll drink like 3 elements a day pre-workout, like a Diet Coke or 2. So like any type of flavor I can add to a drink. And I love water. I drink a gallon of water, but just like
Yeah.
I love just like making a little drink and like having fun
No,
with
same. I stick it in like my 40-ounce
it. Okay.
Stanley knockoff,
Yeah.
and then I just sip on that at work.
Smells good. All right.
Which flavor is this? Sour lemon?
Sour lemon.
Ooh.
That's
good.
good.
Yeah, I can tell that I would put less water. I want a little more of that lemon flavor because we filled that thing.
Y'all
all the
filled
way
that.
up.
Yeah, you like
Um,
20 ounces.
Yeah, so but the lemon flavor that's there,
That tastes like just a cup of
Really
lemonade.
good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really
it's
good.
really good.
It's very natural, like to what you were saying.
Yeah.
It tastes just like I would not think this is pre-workout.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Like
not
it literally
super
tastes like I'm
artificial.
gonna get this from a lemonade stand.
Yeah.
You guys might start getting a little tingly though.
The beta
Oh wait, how much is in it? How much is in it? The beta alanine.
I don't know. Well, you're not having a full serving either.
Oh, yeah.
I just know people will walk into my class. Oh, so they also have 2 variations of their pre-workout. They have a caffeinated pre-workout and a stem-free pre-workout that you can take at
Oh,
night.
okay.
That's more of like
pump.
a pump
stuff.
type thing.
Yeah.
Focus type stuff.
But you definitely feel the tingles because
good.
people will walk into my class. They're like, I took my pump and my butt's tingly.
That's powerful. I'm excited for this. This is the green one.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the greens. Oh,
Are we recycling cups?
I mean,
Well,
I
Why
finished
not?
mine. I
I
don't
need to use
care.
I don't think we need to use the same
Save the
cup.
earth, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Earth Day was yesterday. Well, I wasn't gonna finish mine.
This guy.
You can be extra caffeinated today.
I can't wait. So this is the greens.
And this is pina colada.
This
flavor.
All right, this is my first
Has a
time
good smell
trying
to it.
it.
is your
Okay.
first time trying it too?
It's really good when it's cold. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
It's so smooth. That's my favorite part.
This does
That
not
is really
taste like
smooth.
greens.
It's not chalky. A lot of greens that I've had in
Yeah.
the past, it's like really chalky, and you can
And
almost
gritty.
taste like dirt.
Yeah.
It's almost like that's dirt.
This is
It's actually
good.
really good.
This tastes like
Yeah, that's smooth.
like a
That's
green
thin.
juice you would get at like Whole Foods or something.
This
Yeah.
one's good. They also have
Pina
a
colada.
iced, I think it's a lemon iced tea flavor that they came out
Oh, I like it.
a month and a half ago, I think.
Yeah.
And that one's really good too.
Yeah, this is actually that's solid. I really do like that.
I've
That is
never
good.
had greens before. Okay,
He's
like
never had a
that's I've never had a vegetable. Like as in like the
Can
powder
confirm.
and stuff. But like that, I thought it was gonna be kind of one just tastes like straight kale or spinach. I'm gonna be honest, that's all that I was expecting. But it was
Okay,
like
so I think
super thin and
this is
easily
the
went down.
creatine.
You could just pass this
Oh, yeah.
bottle.
That probably
It might
makes
be way easier.
We can't hear you, by the way, Noah.
Well, I'm kind of
okay.
relatively in that one. We're close. You won't hear the echo, I guess.
I'm gonna use an AI to enhance our audio today.
Yeah.
So we'll see if it's like
If it
really
actually
pristine
works.
or if like you just can't hear us at all.
Okay, so this is I think this is the creatine.
Strawberry kiwi.
Strawberry kiwi.
Oh
It smells
wow!
Right? They also have this in pump, pre,
That's really good.
and an intro workout that
That is
has
crazy.
BCAAs in it.
This is by far my favorite. Whoa. The best one.
Oh!
And this is the
And
flavored
is
creatine?
Yeah.
I thought
I
it
could
would have
mix
been
that with
tasted
pre-workout,
chalky.
it'd be good.
Yeah. That
With your
whiff-
watermelon
Yeah.
essentials.
No,
that
they
would've
have
been good.
this creatine mixes so well.
Yeah. Because I thought it was going to be just doing creatine, just normal water. I'm
Yeah.
going to taste it.
And it's
Like,
very
gonna-
soluble.
All right, which one is this?
This is the
It's actually really good.
mimosa flavor.
Mimosa. All right.
I am gonna have to go to the bathroom. I had to run out in our last podcast to go to the bathroom.
Oh my god.
Embarrassing.
Yeah, it was, but
All right.
Okay, I don't. This is.
Wait,
This
so
will
this
be
is-
the most interesting. This
So
is
this
the
is
most kinda out
mimosa.
there.
Yeah.
Is mimosa's like
It's orange juice
champagne
and
and orange?
champagne.
Okay.
Yep.
And what is this? Is this pre? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh wow, you can like taste the champagne.
Wow. If you like champagne, you'll like that. I gotta say, I'm not a huge fan of
now,
champagne.
mind you, we did this smaller Hilo mix with this one.
That is true. So
That's-
it is
that's a little
more
more
concentrated.
for sure.
I would want more
But
water.
if you're feeling like summer vibes, this could be good over some ice.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy how they make
It's really
that.
good. No, it's really smooth. One thing I like about that is a lot of times like you'll get a pre-workout or even pump formula, but it's super like
It tastes so
Heavy.
much like a mimosa.
Yeah,
It does.
It's wild. There's just no bubble.
Yeah.
Ooh, put it in with some LaCroix.
Ooh.
Have you guys never done that with your powders?
I don't like-
I've done like diet.
I've done
I don't
Element
like bubbles.
with Topo
Oh.
Chico.
Scare me.
That's fine. Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
It's really raspberry Element with Topo
Taupe?
Topo Chico.
Seltzer water.
You don't
Oh.
know Chico?
No, I'm a Polar and Polar Gang as well as.
He's
LaCroix.
cheap.
Yeah, I don't buy.
That's
it's all the
true.
same. It's
He's not.
water.
He's not the bougie.
I'm not gonna pay 3x.
I'm
That's
sitting
not
here.
10x.
I'm sitting
That's
here
not
drinking like
10x.
fancy.
You're wasting your 10x on that right there, man.
But that's really good. I may
Okay,
have
so
that
those are
for
legit.
tomorrow. What was y'all's favorite? I'd say.
Wait,
my
did we not
favorite-
try the peach Bellini?
I don't think we had enough
Here,
shakers.
I've got a
That's
bottle.
fine.
I got a shaker. I'll go grab it.
We're gonna be so freaking caffeinated.
Drew wants more.
I'm ready. I'm gonna put some
All
ice
right. Well, while Drew's doing that, I think my favorite was probably. I loved the pina colada.
I'll
And
go
also, I think
strawberry.
That's funny, the greens.
Yeah, and with the
The
pina
greens
colada
is good.
always my go-to flavor, as well as I think the benefit of taking in greens powder is really beneficial for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, especially our age, don't eat vegetables as much as they should. So I think even being able to supplement it as well as eating vegetables is really cool. And if it tastes like pina colada, it's even better.
My Zoe, my 2-year-old, she's been drinking the greens since they came out with it.
Really?
She
That's
calls
awesome.
it her Hulk juice.
That's awesome.
So yeah, she gets a half a scoop, and I'll drink a full scoop, and she's just
That's awesome. Yeah,
my
that's
green
really
juice.
good. Yeah, I mean, we didn't get to try the Buff Reds, which is also peach Bellini.
This is cool though. This is a good
super
introduction.
interesting.
Yeah,
I might be buying this.
their protein, they have hands down the best chocolate protein I've ever had.
Really?
Their chocolate fudge brownie, it's always
That
sold
sounds
out,
good.
but it is literally the best. If you ever want like
We don't need that in
protein
the mic.
dessert,
Yeah.
cream of wheat or cream of rice with a scoop of their protein powder, a little bit of peanut butter, and then I use like sugar-free chocolate chips. It's like brownie batter.
Sounds good. That sounds really
And it's
good.
macro friendly.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Speaking of protein
Alright.
desserts, I was on my feels, so I wanted ice cream the other day. And so I got a whole thing of Halo Top, mint chocolate chip with mint chocolate chip C-bum, and some Fairlife, and I blended it. So it was like 500 calories, 58 grams of protein. And I was like, yeah, that's
Drew want the whole scoop.
I didn't mean to.
Drew just filled his cup
I
up.
didn't mean to. That's not bad.
It's all right.
It was enough for a
That's
little
funny.
bit. Get your mic.
This is.
All right. You ready?
Oh, which was this?
Peach Bellini.
That's
What's
nice.
Bellini?
I don't know what Bellini is, but you can taste the Bellini. I don't know what it is, but you can taste it.
That's good.
That's pretty good.
I want to look up what Bellini is.
I forget exactly what alcohol. I'm pretty sure it's just vodka with like syrup.
Oh, it's
This guy.
it's supposed to be
it's
alcohol.
It is an alcoholic drink.
It's an
I'm
alcoholic drink.
saying that I'm not gonna lie. Oh gosh.
white peach puree,
Yeah.
prosecco, and a bit of raspberry or cherry. Yeah, I'm feeling the bit. I need cherry juice.
Yeah.
Oh god. All right.
That's funny. All right. So
Did we say we're starting with your questions or my?
Oh Lord,
we can
are
we can
ready to
start with-
go.
Yeah, we can. I think we can start with
Got their
mine.
caffeinated up.
Yeah, so I kind of wanted to. So obviously, you're a mom of two beautiful children. You know, a wife, everything like that. So how was kind of having children impacting your lifting career and performance, and how have you kind of adapted to kind of the changing lifestyles of it was just you and your husband, and then adding children into the mix? How was that kind of with lifting?
Having kids changed it completely. Like, before, my only responsibility was myself, kind of Jay, and the animals. And now I have two little human beings that rely on me, not just to care for them, but also like nourish them, because I'm still breastfeeding Willow. I'm trying to wean her, but like it's so dependent on me, and I find myself just more tired, more stressed. My training is harder,
Yeah.
especially now with two kids versus just one. After I had Zoe, well, both pregnancies were completely different. After Zoe, I recovered really well, and I was back to training. I was already squatting like 315, 8 weeks postpartum. I pulled like 405 before I was 12 weeks postpartum, and then competed at Open Nationals almost exactly a year after.
Wow.
Yeah, it was the same week of Zoe's birthday. And yeah, I got second place at Nationals. I hit a bench PR of, I think I benched 180. No, I benched 187 and a half.
413, right?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
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 No, I got it.
I just failed that this week. So
Yeah.
I thought you benched 407. Dang it.
No, I benched 187. I benched 407 when I was pregnant with Zoe at Worlds.
wow.
Oh,
Yeah, that's another
At
thing.
Worlds?
I competed at Worlds in 2019 in Dubai. I was almost 12 weeks pregnant. I got second place overall. I squatted. Honestly, don't remember what I squatted. Maybe 570 something, 580 something. I benched. I think that's when I benched 407. And this is the most heartbreaking one of all. I pulled 271 and a half. I'm gonna watch my language. They called me for up and down motion on the walkout because my shoulders settled. And it's clearly in the rule book, when your shoulders settle on the walkout and the bar settles, it is a good lift. But they called me.
Oh, that happened at the meet yesterday.
Yes, 2-1. James protested. I was super upset because that would have been a new world record. Would have been a PR for me by half a kilo. And
I'm sure James lost his mind.
he was.
I could
I mean, I was upset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
James,
I feel like that's valid.
both of their coaches.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. And I mean, I was already hormonal and emotional. And
Yeah.
Right. You don't mess with it.
Yeah.
What is that in pounds?
in pounds, 271 and a half is
That's-
like, what, 597? No, 598.
It's right under 5 because 5.
It's right under 600.
Yeah, because 292.5 is 6, right? Yeah, because it's
No.
606.
292.5
yeah,
is like
No, 272.
625.
272.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
272 and a half is right
630.
under 6. So it's literally a kilo under. So,
Yeah.
jeez.
Yeah.
So that was the world record that kind of got taken away
Yes.
in a sense. Do
Yes.
you think another kind of leading into that is your goal with, I don't know where your goals are at, but do you hope to be back on the platform chasing that, or are you kind
Oh,
of gonna?
of course.
Okay, I didn't know if like you were gonna settle down and like you had your moment and you're
No!
like, that, or are you
She's
still
pissed.
like
She
let's
wants.
go like
She's vengeance now.
I didn't know. Like I said, this is why we're asking.
I am
didn't
this.
know.
I've been this close. So let me preface this by saying that since I started powerlifting, I have missed the world record deadlift, raw, and equipped probably 5 or 6 times.
Wow.
I tried to break the raw world record deadlift at the Arnold in 2015, and I hitched it. I think it was 235, 237.
Okay.
I tried it again.
It's like 5:23.
Yeah, I tried it again at NAPF's in Moose Jaw, Canada in 2015. Tried it again in 2016 at the Arnold. And I hitched it again. And then I took a break from raw powerlifting. 2016 Nationals was my last raw Nationals, and then I got started with equipped powerlifting 2016. So I did both raw and open Nationals that year.
Okay.
Are they both at the same time? Sorry.
No, they were
both
separate.
Okay.
So Open Nationals was in Aurora that year. It was either in May or June, which I got second place there. I think I squatted like 580 something in a Z suit and knee sleeves, and that was it. I was too scared to use a regular suit.
Yeah.
Like,
What is a Z suit?
terrified.
I'm not sure what a Z
For
suit
all the
is.
listeners
It's
who don't know,
like
we clearly know,
a
but
step up.
I don't even know what that is.
From-
I have no idea.
It's like a tight Inzer singlet. It's
Okay.
a little
Okay.
bit tighter around the legs, but like it's not a squat suit
Yeah.
at all.
Okay.
And then I had a pretty loose bench shirt, and I deadlifted raw. I think I deadlifted 235 kilos that day, conventional, because I was a conventional puller back
Whoa, I didn't know that.
then. Yeah. I pulled conventional up until I think my first Worlds I pulled sumo.
Really?
So I have a low fives conventional and a high fives sumo.
Wow,
That's awesome.
that is valid.
So with those competitions, you were saying you got second. Who? Was
I'm
beating you?
always second. I'm always
Who
second.
was beating you? Because we got to go after.
Bonica.
Okay, that's what I figured.
That's what we
Bonica. Like let's.
strict call out. I'm just kidding.
She and I are friends now.
You have 24 hours to accept the challenge.
To
You've
what?
For what? I am broken right now.
got 24 hours.
Because we watched her at that big meet
At the
Sheffield.
Sheffield.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I kind of was asking Matthew. I was like, "Is that woman like? Would Becky be up there? If like, were they always competitive?"
Well, we were like, oh, Becky got this for sure, easily.
and,
The
but
only
it
thing
was-
I can do better than right. Previously, I don't. Right now, I'm so
Previously in
weak.
Becky's life.
Yes, I was a better deadlifter.
Okay.
Yeah, you
I was
were.
definitely a
So
better
you caught up in
deadlifter.
the deadlifting. Okay.
I remember that because I remember watching her deadlift. I was like, oh, Becky can deadlift more. Than
Yeah.
But she squats a lot.
Yes, she does. My best equipped squat's 300 kilos, and I think her best equipped squat's like 320, maybe.
Dang.
I want to.
So
Deadlift
660.
Yeah.
Say,
Oh
I'm
my
gonna lift that.
gosh, that's crazy. Well, kind of. Okay, another thing. So this is going to be an interesting question. Bringing up the whole competition, I know everything that you've ever done has been drug tested. You're in a drug tested federation. Have you ever been inclined to start any type of anabolics, any type of steroid usage? Was that super common? Like I know at places we've trained at, like that can be super common and super like open. Or like what are your experiences with people that do that stuff or anything?
Honestly,
like
my first experience was in college. We had a freshman guy come in on the track team,
Mm-hmm.
and he was on steroids. Like,
Yeah.
he told us, and he was using them all in
Yeah.
high school. And that was my first experience with it. And I first got started with USAPL because that was, like, the only federation that I knew of. I did do one USPA meet. I know. I did. It was actually my very first powerlifting meet. It was a deadlift only, and it was like two months after I got started. I pulled 402, and yeah, raw. Jeez. But that was my only time doing it, and just from being in school. So I have a background. I have a degree in biology and public health, and then I went to graduate school. I was in chiropractic school I got halfway through and then had like a very traumatic life-changing event where I left school for a little while and then just never got back into it. But being in all of those physiology classes, endocrinology classes, and learning those effects on your body, like, I don't want to do that. I already have I have what's called polycystic ovarian syndrome, and that messes with my hormone profile significantly. And I don't want to add that in there too.
Yeah.
It's not worth it for a sport that, I mean, let's be real, guys. Unless you're like up here, a sport that doesn't make money, it's just an expensive hobby.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a very expensive hobby.
Oh wait, sorry.
No one's going to say it, but it's a freaking expensive
What's the
hobby.
hobby? Powerlifting or steroids? Both.
I mean, both. Because if you're not good with those steroids, what are you doing?
16,000 a month on HGH.
Oh,
Liver
yeah,
King.
no.
That was great. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to ask that just from like an athlete that's been, to the world level, if that's like a
Ever crossed
because I
the
know like in
mind.
the NFL it's rampant, MLB it's
Yeah.
rampant, like they just pay off the people that do their drug tests and stuff.
Oh, I mean, look
Yeah.
at Russia did it with WADA for the longest time.
Very long.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
let's be real. I mean, there's still rumors how before a world championship, certain countries will have
The catheter.
they'll have training camps and they will drug test their athletes there to see who will pass a drug test at Worlds. Type situation.
Okay.
That's
So-
kind of crazy.
Yeah. I mean that's
Well,
kind of
Lu Zhaozhan just got popped for EPO a couple months ago,
Yeah.
which doesn't make sense why a weightlifter would do EPO, but I mean it's still exists.
I'm sorry. So at Worlds, how many people is it that get drug tested? Because like I
At
can't remember.
Worlds? Oh,
yeah.
I don't know. It just depends on IPF. They have their own rules, so I don't
Okay.
know.
Like I've just when we were there, I can't remember because it almost seemed like so many people got drug tested.
I mean, if you
More than
typically,
10%
if you
almost
set a world record, you're going to be drug tested.
I feel like that's
Period.
fair. I think
So-
well deserved.
fair.
Yeah.
Well deserved.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, so with all of your lifts that you've ever done and all of all your competitions, I know you have a lot of records. You've broken a lot of even American records. Tried to do that world record. Do you have one lift or one record that sticks out as like this was like an all-time high for me? That was your favorite.
What's a huge memorable
Monumental.
lift
Yeah,
that
like
you're
a
like,
memorable
I
moment.
know everything that happened.
This is awesome.
Probably my first 500-pound raw squat.
Okay.
I did that in 2015 Nationals in Scranton. I squatted.
In Scranton?
Yes, I squatted
The Electric
501.
City.
Yes, I was one of the first at that point. There was another girl who squatted 500. I was one of the first 3 women in the USAPL to squat 500 pounds raw.
Wow.
That's
So,
crazy.
like-
That's awesome.
I didn't realize it until like now. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So that was
Kind of.
cool.
Extremely
That's
cool.
pretty, yeah.
Insane.
Yeah, so that was cool. And then probably I did pull 271 at 2019 Nationals in Chicago. And that was probably my favorite. Just like getting that deadlift
Yeah.
and getting that American record and
597.
yeah, tying the current world record, and then also I still think it might be the heaviest deadlift maybe in USAPL between raw and equipped, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I'll
But
believe it.
yeah, but just getting that deadlift was pretty sweet. And then my PR after I had Zoe with my bench, I was not expecting that at all.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, because bench has always been my weakest lift. Like, let's be real. Yeah,
That's a good one.
I have wonky shoulders and I have long limbs. I'm also like very tall for a power lifter,
yeah.
Yeah.
and that's always fun. I have more ground to cover.
Yep. They don't understand.
Okay.
So, big question. Are you coming back raw or equipped?
I was just about to ask
We-
that question. I'm so
We've been
curious.
debating what
Yeah.
you're going to do. But
Like,
we
we're
need to
curious
know.
how and which one
Honestly,
you're
I've
gonna
already done one meet. I did the bench.
do. I was about to say, I know the bench
Yeah.
only one,
And that was raw.
And that was raw.
but the next full power.
The next world or national championship.
I have to get a qualifying total in first.
Like if we saw you
I
at
feel
like
like that's
Sheffield
not
or
a problem.
something, we would fly out there.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
I'm no, like I
No one and I
said,
sat
like,
down
the
and
UK.
had this conversation, we would be there.
I say that as not like a joking manner. When you get to that point,
Once you go back,
I'm
We're there.
100% we're going.
Let me get healthy first.
Yeah, for
If you have no supporters, we are dead.
Yeah.
Once I can squat, actually, let's be real. I can squat right now. It just hurts like hell to come out of the hole. And it hurts when I fully lock out my deadlift. My biggest issue right now is I can't put my feet on the floor when I bench.
Okay.
Just because it's like sciatic pain, and it just sends it straight down into my leg, into my foot, and I'm good right now for the most part during the day, but at night it's awful, and I don't sleep well at night because of it. But it's getting better finally, slowly.
Yeah.
This has been we're going on 5 months now of like constant pain. But hey, I just started benching again last week.
Yep.
I saw that.
It's exciting. How did you?
You should
It was-
1 week.
Yeah.
You should come to Orlando and compete.
Just sign up real
Do
quick.
the meet that me and Matt. All of us are going.
Yeah, we're all
Oh my
going.
gosh.
And I'm competing.
He actually just wants a handler.
Yeah, let's be real.
Yeah, go compete.
Yeah, and I need you to handle me too.
Right after you compete, you got 30 minutes. All right. I need
Recover, get your children
Let's hope you don't
situated,
get
then
drug
come.
tested.
You got 30 minutes and you're going in the back room.
Oh,
Yeah,
Lord.
that's going to be a fun meet, speaking of that.
Yeah.
Against who are going. KSU, I think, is going to have
6
I don't know if you know
athletes,
this. Yeah, we're going to have
12
6
people.
athletes,
Yeah.
6 other spectators. We got a bunch of families coming down.
It's not spectators. It's like we're gonna be filming. We're gonna be.
I mean, that's
coaching.
over the 4th of July weekend. Let me look at the schedule. We've been saying we want to go to Orlando. We could do.
Whoa.
We could go to the meet one day, take the kids to Disney another day.
Yep, Universal is
Whoa.
6 minutes away from the convention.
That's crazy.
6 minutes.
Just something to.
It's on.
think
I
about.
think it's on
Dude,
like the boulevard.
dude.
Yeah.
I went to Disney after 2018 Nationals, I think. Granted, the next 4 days I was so sore because we went the day after I lifted.
Ooh.
And we just, God, I think I got like 26,000 steps in that day.
Oh god.
Right
We
after
did
you
not,
compete.
Crazy.
we did not stop
Right
moving.
after you compete.
I want to go to
Yes.
Star Wars.
Oh, it's so
Yeah,
I wanna
that would
go
be
to
so
their
cool.
new stuff.
But yeah, think about it. See if you can come.
I mean, I could probably.
They're so bad right now.
I'll see.
Oh, okay, worst case, not worst case. No. I didn't mean that.
I did the best
meant,
I could, man.
Like Drew's handled me all my other meets I've ever had.
Oh my
So, like,
gosh.
Oh, yeah, there's
So
been
I'm
two.
comfortable.
You are
There's a-
chopped liver now.
Yeah,
That's
crap.
crazy. That's crazy.
I'm trapped with him in this apartment. Please let me out. But
That's cool.
Yeah, well, that mean, well, I really am not. I love Drew. Drew's handled me through both of my meets previous.
Doesn't go both ways now.
See, you've never been my coach, but you've always been my friend.
Yeah. I'm just nothing to him now.
It seems that way.
But yeah, so that'll be a really fun meet. We got a bunch of people going. We're going to be representing KSU pretty heavily there. And then
KSU
another
Barbell?
thing. Yeah, KSU Barbell.
KSU
exactly.
What's that?
And another thing we're going to be really representing next year at Nationals. We're hopefully going to have like 15 or 20.
I mean, we better. It's freaking in Atlanta.
It's in Atlanta.
And we've also been talking about like getting custom singlets, deadlift socks for Kennesaw State. So we really hope to actually make a presence next year.
If you do more deadlift socks, you need to get them for bigger calves.
Yeah.
Because I can't get them
So
on
Drew
my
made
calves.
I don't
his
have that
previous.
problem.
Yeah, he made it for himself.
I'm just gonna jump that joke before it gets handled. But yeah, those were tourniquet like.
Yeah, I
socks.
can like get them like maybe halfway up my
Yeah,
shin.
those
What
were.
was crazy
That's it.
at the meet yesterday? I was roughing at one kid. Like I was doing equipment checks and he didn't have deadlift socks, so they made him buy a pair of deadlift socks they were selling, and they still didn't fit him.
Oh no.
And he was like, and maybe I was wrong for this, but he was like, "Are you gonna fail me?" I'm like, "No, man. Like we made
No.
you pay $10 for socks. I didn't make it."
I literally saw people at
I'm like, I'm not gonna
collegiate
make you pay.
nationals come out with socks to here.
Oh yeah, they got
Like
the
they
shit.
didn't come up below the knee, and I'm like, if the TC is letting them out like that, I'm not gonna stop them and have them go fix
Yeah.
them. 'cause
Okay, here's a hot.
literally right here.
This is actually not, I'm just wondering your opinion. So someone got banned from USAPL
Didn't mean to grab
for
your foot.
competing with the old membership at
I saw
CNAP.
that.
Oh.
Is
Wait,
that
what?
so? He got banned for competing with the 2022 membership at 23 CNAP.
Like he walked in showing.
Is that his
membership.
fault?
He shouldn't be. I don't think he should be banned.
Yeah, he was. It's like a whole ordeal.
Yeah.
I've seen it all over.
I feel like
Really?
it is,
There
'cause I've-
has to be something else. I haven't seen
signed
it.
up.
That's what I'd imagine.
And I've like gone to meets with an old membership, and they're just like, buy a new one. I'm like, okay.
No, because that should have been avoided because every meet director is supposed to check memberships before the meet. And
1,200 memberships to check.
well,
Hey,
it's lifting cast.
It
Lifting cast puts
automatically
through a
like tells
program.
you
Yeah.
how many they are when you can check them.
There's got to be something else going on because even if you show up that day, you can just go buy your membership.
$60. Yeah.
You can literally buy
Yeah.
right at the
I thought that was crazy.
front there.
There's got to be something else. Maybe there was a massive protest and
Yeah.
arguing type situation, but
Yeah.
It'd be hard for that to be the only thing in USAPL saying
Yeah,
you're
and
banned
ban
for
them?
this.
No.
Yeah. Now, if it was like trying to sneak in or something,
That's different.
I can
but
see
still,
that.
that'd be
Guest liquor.
Yeah.
that'd be
But-
hard to
or saying you're someone else, but you're also
do.
actually
Yeah.
someone
Oh,
else.
see, now that's
That would
okay.
be
Didn't think about it like that.
interesting.
Yeah.
Because they
Okay.
definitely could be saying not the full story. Because
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
I'm
we
gonna
don't
sneak
know.
Noah. I'm gonna sneak Noah in as a 100 kg lifter. Lift under my
Nah,
name.
he's 75.
My name-
75.
my name's Logan.
Your name's Luke. Gonna have you swipe in for me.
So I've got another question.
Yeah,
I've got a
okay.
couple.
We're
We'll change
shooting
this to
these
fun.
at you.
Yeah, we're shooting them. Obviously, you're my coach. You're Noah's coach. You coach a couple of people on the team. You coach Northeastern. You help Kennesaw. How did you get into coaching? Because a lot of people just like, oh, I'm a coach now.
It
There's a handful of
started. One of my classmates was like, "Hey, this guy's a personal trainer with, I think she was his fiance at that time, and he wants to get into powerlifting. Can you, like, help him with a program type situation?" And it started like that. And then some people at the school where I was at, they're like, "Hey, can you help me with X, Y, and Z?" And so I just did like a few basic programs, just played around with it, gave it to them, and that's kind of how I got started. But leading up to that, I've done a couple seminars here and there, and then in my undergrad, I took so many like exercise and sports science classes. I should have applied it because it could have been a minor. They were just like, "This is fun. I want to
Yeah.
take this."
Yep.
And I have that, and then background in anatomy. I've had 3/4 of cadaver anatomy. I've had physics, biomechanics, all kinds of stuff. And then I've read books. I've watched so many YouTube videos and podcasts. Like I always, yeah.
This one.
I always have like, that's how I learn a lot is I like to listen because I can't sit and read a book anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm always listening, and I have a bunch of podcasts. I'm like, okay, this is something good. I want to listen to this. And it could be programming related. It could be training related. It could all be focused on just the squat or just the bench or just the deadlift. Or there's one that I really liked. It was all about coaching masters lifters.
Ooh.
Because you have to approach a masters lifter different from a normal, like an open lifter.
Yeah.
And so it went into all of like rep scheme, how their nutrition it has to be completely different
Yeah.
because they are older and they're not able to like process protein like
Wow. Yeah.
like younger people do. And so just like stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you're a very accomplished lifter yourself.
Yeah, I mean I've
You
been to
dabble.
like a couple meets here and there. I know myself around a powerlifting
Worlds
meet.
a few times.
Yeah.
Runs powerlifting meets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Been there.
meet
A little,
director,
yeah.
referee, national referee, then a state chair. I mean, yeah, I pretty much
Yeah.
done
Done
it
about
in
everything.
So-
powerlifting.
My follow up to that,
Yes.
and I'm sure you can speak on this a little bit, but I've always been coached unorthodox. Zercher squats for sets of 20s, that type of thing.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the average powerlifter would say your coaching is a different approach. I know
Yeah.
you're very, I wrote down the word, this is going to be so dumb.
This is about to be a
You're
real-
very functional movement based.
Very,
You know, so
very much
when we do
so.
our warm ups, we're very much priming. We're not doing anything like static. And so, kind of, where did you fall into wanting to coach like that? And then, you know, we aren't just doing SBD. We're doing 1.5. We're doing. I almost said Zercher. We're not doing Zercher.
Earthquakes.
No.
We're doing earthquakes.
Earthquakes.
So, you know, if you would want to touch on kind of why did you? Because I know you've been coached that SBD kind of style before. When did
Yeah.
you say like I want to be functional and then kind of take that approach?
So a lot of it has to do with my background in school, and then also learning myself as I progress as an athlete. I just can't do SBD days. I have had injuries. I started powerlifting and I found out like, oh, guess what? Your spine's fucked. So yeah, literally like I have what's called Troman's disease in my spine where I have kind of like holes in my, yeah. And then I have what's called anterior wedging where one of my vertebrae is like crushed in the front.
God.
And I have a calcified herniation at L5S1. You can thank working on a farm as a kid for almost all of this.
That's fair.
Yeah, like
Sounds good for a 600-pound deadlift to me.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like when you're
Walk
pulling
into
around
squat 500,
telephone
yeah.
poles and stuff. Yeah, yeah,
Walk
literally.
into Sports Squat 500, just casually.
Yeah. But doing that, and then I got good really, really fast, and then I had some injuries, and I tried like normal kind of like rehab type stuff, and then I got started into honestly the sports chiropractic world and got started with people who do functional movement. And from research, like then I became, okay, we have to do functional core movement before we get under a barbell because that is going to help stabilize your spine, which is what I really need if I want longevity in this sport, to stabilize my spine while I'm under load. So then that went into, okay, I'm doing my dead bugs, I'm doing my core work. My core is good, but now like my glutes aren't working properly. So if my glutes aren't active, then more pressure goes onto my knees or my low back. So then I started doing a lot more like glute bridges before I started squatting or deadlifting. For the longest time, I would squat with a band below my knees through all of my warm-up sets.
I did that when he first but like when we first met at like Kennesaw, you'd be like, why are you doing that? I don't know, but I was doing it. It was for valgus.
Yeah, it was for me like to turn on my glutes and to just support the barbell better. It also helps with like urinary incontinence, which you guys don't typically have to deal with. But as a female lifter and coaching female lifters, we got to work on our core pelvic floor relationship. And if your glutes aren't working properly, then your pelvic floor is going to be strained. And then you're going to pee on the platform. Like, yeah, it's common.
So
It's not normal, but it's common.
Well, yeah. Are you proposing the fix to that? What is that then?
It's different for each person.
Okay.
It literally depends on where you have an energy efficiency in your body. It could be core, it could be pelvic floor, it could be glutes, it could be the way you're bracing, it could be the way you're breathing. It could be an overactive pelvic floor, it could be a weak pelvic floor. Like literally, it could be anything.
You writing this down?
I am. There's someone on our team.
We're not gonna
won't
name drop.
say.
She already talked to me.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, she already talked to me.
Good job.
But it's just stuff like that. And then from as I grew as an athlete, and then I learned more about how your body is supposed to move, I realized, oh, I have hypermobility in my shoulders, which I didn't realize until I learned that's the reason why, one of the reasons why I tore most of my labrum in my right shoulder and had to have it repaired in college. Wow. Because I had hypermobility, I didn't have enough stability, and then I was also throwing javelin, shot put, discus.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that just improper throwing of the javelin plus having the hypermobility without enough stability led to that pretty much just like shredding of my labrum. And as I became aware of that, I started doing a lot more stability things, because if you have excessive mobility, you need to increase your stability.
Yeah, we're on.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
I've been stressing.
We've had this problem before.
This is so good.
Yeah.
If we lose this, I'm gonna freak out. But
I have like 300 gigabytes free.
Yeah, I tried to be low key. Sorry for interrupting.
You're good, but yeah, like that's why you're doing earthquake squats.
Yeah.
Because watching you and knowing that you do get hip pain, you do get knee pain, and then watching you move, you can work on some stability. So that's going to increase your core stability, and it also helps you become a little more body aware.
Yeah.
And where your body is in space. Like that was the biggest thing. After I've been powerlifting for like 2 years, my coordination went from like here to wow, I am super aware of my body. I am moving better. I am walking better. And I'm carrying myself a lot better, which has helped with training of my athletes. I have a girl who comes to my class 3 nights a week, and she has cerebral palsy. She started in August, I believe. She couldn't squat. She could walk. Pretty much she could walk. And now just watching her move and seeing seeing the areas that she could work on. So she has a lot of knee valgus in everything she does. So for the longest time, we just worked on glute bridges. And then from there, I started her on a super high box, and she just learned to squat down. And then the box got shorter and shorter, and now she's squatting ass to grass to a box. And when she walks, you can just see the difference in her body moves and the way it moves. Another thing, she her feet will move in and out, or she just has different movement patterns because of the cerebral palsy. And so I'll sit on the floor and I'll put a band around her feet, and we're just gonna do some ankle dorsiflexion so that she's a little more aware. And instead of her feet pointing down all the time when she's running now, she has a better gait. Her movement pattern has significantly increased. And she's squatting to a box, but she started squatting with a barbell to a box, which is huge. She can deadlift now. She actually PR'd this last week with 135.
Whoa.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because when I was coming, she only had 10s on the bar.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's insane.
So she deadlifted 135, and she's flipping tires, she's pushing sleds, she's pulling sleds, she's doing I make her do ladders, which has been huge for her because she's not very coordinated just because of everything that's going on. And so she does them slow, but it's increasing her coordination, and I'm challenging her because she's not getting a lot of challenge, because a lot of people see a disability and they're like, oh, they can't do that type thing. And to me, if you can listen to commands, you can do an exercise, you can learn, as long as the person who is teaching you can see the areas that need to be fixed and they can make modifications for it. And it's been amazing to work with her. Her biggest limiting factor right now is her grip strength in her hands. So I have her doing a lot of farmer's carries with either a kettlebell, a dumbbell, or I even have her do the trap bar. And her hand strength has increased. And it's so cute because she'll be done and she'll be like, look, I have calluses, guys. And everyone's like, yeah, Erin, that's because you're a badass.
That's awesome.
And you're so strong.
Yeah,
And
When the first calluses come in, it's always it's scary to a lot of people, which is weird, but I think it's the greatest thing ever.
My sister's been through this. My sister's doing the Ladies of Iron Meat, and she's only been powerlifting for 2 months now.
Yeah.
And a month ago, she was like, "No, I got my first calluses." I'm like, "That's awesome! Let's go."
that's
It's
cute.
cute until they rip.
Yeah, I was about to say, just wait till you lose
I
it.
literally deadlifted were shorts yesterday. No, deadlifts were cut short. I didn't tell you this because they ripped.
Wow.
I did like 4 of my sets.
Whoa.
And I just
4?
ripped it.
That's it?
How did you rip your hand that high?
He's a delicate
You
man.
need to look at my mixed grip. on my
Yeah,
set.
for real.
That is really
Oh.
That's really high.
You got below the callus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really hurt.
How do you fully grip the bar, or do you like fingertip it?
Dude, I don't
He
know.
might fully grip it. I did
I
that for the
figured,
longest
yeah.
time. I would get blood blisters underneath my callus,
Yeah.
and then they would
I
pop.
get-
Whenever I
over
see a
my
blood
callus.
blister,
When I
I'm like,
pulled
next
hook-
set, it's gone.
Yeah.
That's the sign.
When I pulled hook, it was blood. So I pulled a couple sets hook yesterday.
Okay.
And it hurt, but I was just like, everything was hurting.
Disappointed.
Yeah, but that's all the whole stability thing. And then as for like the different variations, so you both have 1.5 bench.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, I actually really enjoy
Whoa,
it.
I didn't have it this week.
Oh, maybe I changed it a little. I don't remember.
dang,
I can't. You expect me to know everyone's program off the
No,
top
I know
of
you
my
don't.
head?
I just realized.
What am I
that-
training tomorrow? Give me an exact breakdown of everything
I
I'm
have
doing tomorrow.
no clue. But I like the 1.5 because it really works the sticking points for people. So squat, a lot of people, they have no issue going down, but it's coming out of that hole where on average most people are going to struggle. Same with bench. That whole little transition area from right off the chest to where the triceps start. So you're hitting that little transition area coming back down and doing a full press. I also like it because you're getting technically twice the amount of off the chest work per set. And
I
so,
did have them this week. I forgot. I really.
but yeah, that's why I like them. Like I put 1.5 squats in people's programs. I put halting deadlifts.
What is that?
Halting
Do I want to know?
You've done a
sounds
halting
terrible.
deadlift.
You're about to get it again.
That's where you bring it up to your knees and you come back down and then you do a full pull.
Oh,
Oh,
one.
okay.
yeah, like
yeah.
it's like 1.5 deadlifts.
Those
yeah.
suck.
But it helps
I'm
you
like
get
so scared right now.
Yeah.
Like,
it helps you get twice the work of pulling off the floor.
okay.
So if you think about that.
Yeah, it's kind of like middle ground of deficits. Different way.
I mean, yeah, kind of.
Different way of off.
I mean, there's a million ways to skin a cat, as they say. So there's so many different things that you can do to help that.
Is that a saying?
It
Yeah.
is a
Oh,
saying.
yeah. I used to say
Million
that
ways
all
to
the time.
skin a cat?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, that was just such a weird. I'm like,
It's
my bad.
You're
I'm
too-
sorry.
You don't understand.
Okay.
got
You're
soft
getting
hands.
halting deadlifts. I got soft hands. Look at your hands. They're torn apart.
that's another thing. It works your grip too.
Oh, I know about working grip strength, and it's been brutal.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Well, ever
The
since I started pulling
5:15 for
mix,
5.
the tempo down is like a breeze. I'm like, I don't even care anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know what type of mix you're.
I don't want any of you to drop a deadlift.
Oh,
like-
yeah. See,
I've never dropped one.
RIP.
Knock on.
couch.
I was about to say don't. I was about to say don't do
I've
that.
never lost a deadlift because of my grip. And
I wish that was.
I've lost a few recently.
Yeah,
sucks.
Drew just lost.
Yeah,
to 606.
I got 606 all
Actually,
the way.
604.9.
60, it was pound plates, and I'm so pissed off about that still. Because
I
each
pulled
red is
605.
like 100, not 100, but like
It's
a tenth of a pound.
0.02.
Yeah, so instead of 606, it goes to 604.9, which he's hit
I pulled
605.
605.
So I'm even more pissed if I hit it, it still would have not like tied him.
Yeah.
I would have been
Dang.
furious.
He would have been coming and bragging about it.
Oh,
But
yeah,
it
and I
wasn't
would've been
for
like-
me calculating it on load
Yeah.
the
Oh,
kilo.
I was so mad.
funny.
But it was right at the top and then just boom, gone. It was
so
very
close.
frustrating.
Yeah, it was kind of similar to my 606 at States.
Yeah.
Which was embarrassing. I wish that lift never happened.
I was embarrassed
handled
about
that
it, too.
horribly. I even sent you a text message saying I was sorry. That was so bad. No, it was so bad. Like that lift, that was my first like real meet, and I had the.
was like the first
person
time
that I
you've
was
ever missed a
chasing.
meet of
First
that.
time I'd ever missed anything like that,
Yeah.
and just so many emotions. And also beforehand, I don't know if we ever told you this, but like lifter that was before me or two before me, like didn't show up. So everyone was running around.
ran their clock.
And I was already behind there, like ready to go after
Yeah.
this person. And they were like not there, couldn't find them. Everyone was yelling, and I was like freaking out because Drew was there. and
Yeah,
we were like,
if I could-
ready to go. Yeah, you go.
It was basically this guy scratched his third. He just knew he wasn't going to do it, so put like the same number in or like 2.5 more. And Noah's like losing his mind. He's like, "Where's this guy? I need the bar now." Like
Yeah,
he's
well,
having.
because it was
He's like,
like
"I need this bar."
606.
Like he's blown
reps.
off to the walls. He grabs me by the shoulders, headbutts me in the chest. Like, I know, like, half the team saw it. Like, he's literally just here grabbing me, like, headbutting me. I'm like, dude, we're going to get
I wouldn't do that to you, I promise.
I'm like, we're going to...
Short for that.
I promise I won't do that.
And I'm like, dude, we're going to get it. He's got 20 seconds on the clock. I'm like, dude, I need it now.
Yeah.
Like, I need it. And I'm
But
like,
it was
oh, my
just a lot of
God.
emotions. And, like, I was, like, I had way too much caffeine, way too much smelling salts.
3
Adrenaline,
scoops.
Oh, wow.
Well, throughout the day, not, like,
Oh,
at that
okay.
time. But,
You were only separated by, like, 2 hours.
yeah, but it was, like, so many emotions running through. And that was, like, probably the first, like, one of, I don't know, I knew that I had to hit it if I had a chance of beating that person. So, like, the amount of emotions running through that, and then I just completely went off the walls and did stupid stuff. But it's whatever. I've learned it, and I've figured, hopefully going to be able to I will figure out those emotions.
Yeah.
And stuff
Just
like
takes
that.
time.
But, yeah, exactly. And I was just like, I wigged myself out. And I got, I think, a little too excited to where it was actually, I rushed my setup, so the bar was way out in front of me. So my shoulders fell forward, and it just ripped my finger right open.
Yeah.
So it was not, I may have had, more adrenaline, more like I was ready to go, but my form fell
Too much
apart.
was going on.
Yeah,
Kind of
exactly.
took away.
Like I had too many
got you.
things going on. And I wasn't able to completely focus on the deadlift. But yeah, it was, I'll get off that topic. I keep on talking about it, but it was like
We'll be
my
talking about this
downfall.
next year.
I was so mad. I can't wait to pull six plus in competition and be able to do that.
Same.
Same.
Yeah,
We're all in that boat.
But yeah, so that was that whole situation. But yeah, I think you had one more question that was really good. Kind of not a controversial.
Are you taking that question?
No, I'm not. I'm kind of giving a
You're teeing it up for me.
Yeah, like not like a controversial question, but like kind of a hardship of powerlifting is, from what I can tell, a majority male-dominated sport, and kind of how you've been able to be so successful. No, I'm not asking you. I'm just saying you've been so successful as a woman in the sport, and kind of now Matthew can go on.
Teed up for me. He pretty much took the question.
No.
I have no idea what this question is.
And we've talked about this before, of like, with especially being a coach or just like a top female athlete, kind of what are the adversities you've faced being in that position where most people were like, I want a guy as my coach, or like at least when I was like, oh, I got a new coach, she's the best. People were like, she's a girl. I'm like, yeah, she's also a world champion.
I've had that too, for sure.
I think for me it's something like my numbers are going up, great. I have no complaints, but kind of what has your experience been like that?
Oh, all the time. Like, I'm a woman, and I don't have a 6-pack.
Mm-hmm.
That is the thing. People have recommended me to, like, athletes have, like, some athletes are like, hey, she can coach you. And they've gone and looked at my profile, and they're like, no, I don't like the way she looks. Like, I don't want her to coach me. Yeah. I've had that a lot. And then also the fact that I am a woman, and a lot of people just don't respect me, and they don't respect my knowledge. So I'm not someone who goes out and like, I'm not bragging about a lot of my stuff, but when I'm coaching someone, I don't want someone else to come up behind me and be like, hey, that's wrong. Hey,
we have a couple of those.
That's wrong. Hey, you should be doing it my way, X, Y, and Z. But in reality, they don't know you as a lifter.
Right.
They don't know your history. And oftentimes, they're just giving you just general feedback that they give to everyone else. I have not just coaching experience for the last, I think I'm going on 6 years now, plus seminars, plus everything else, and the experience of being an athlete. It's definitely a challenge because I do get that a lot from men. Men are the ones who kind of balk at the idea of having a female coach. I've coached a lot of women, and they don't normally have, most of them don't have those feelings, but it's definitely the guys, because I just wonder if they like feel emasculated or
Not in this household.
No, not in this household.
You are welcome
I
in
feel
this
very
household.
humbled.
it's just one of those things that, because I am a woman and women in strength sports, we are the minority, but from when I started to now, we've at least tripled, quadrupled the numbers. My first nationals, I think there may have been 12, 15 of us in my weight class.
Yeah.
And now I think we're looking at triple digits.
We saw CNETs just because the quantity. We were watching like the 56 kg lifters because we've got one of those. There were 58 in that one
Women. I think
section.
it was just like
That
Yeah.
156
Yeah,
kilogram
56
class was
women.
58 like competitors.
And
it was
that's
crazy.
huge. And it just, it makes me so excited to see that. And then seeing the female only competitions like Ladies of Iron
Yeah.
I'm so
selling
excited for
out.
that.
Yeah.
That's what's insane.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And just seeing not just open women, but seeing the children, 8, 9 years old, to their 60s. I have a lady who I train. She did her first powerlifting meet at 65.
That's so
That's
That's the meat I tested my ref for.
Uh-huh.
That was awesome.
That's
65,
awesome.
yeah.
That's so
I gave her all white lines.
that's so cool.
And it's just things like that. And people are realizing, hey, strength training isn't just for meatheads. Like, especially as a woman, it helps increase our bone density, which is huge when we go through menopause, because our hormones change so much that and our bones get brittle and fragile, and that can lead to breaking a hip, which can lead to a poor quality of life, even being in a wheelchair type situation. And strength training can definitely help with your independence because it helps strengthen your bones. It helps strengthen your muscles, which then helps strengthen your joints and your core, and your coordination can improve. The lady that I trained, Cindy, the 65-year-old, she, within her first, I've been training her for 2.5 years now, but we started with just basic movements, learning her body, core working, and within the first like 6, 7, 8 months, she went on vacation and she was able to stand up on her paddleboard.
Wow.
Like,
That's huge.
That's huge. And then she started squatting, and not just body weight squatting. She started squatting with a barbell.
So
And she started deadlifting with a barbell. And I can just tell like her gait is better.
Yeah.
She's able to lift things that she couldn't lift before. And it allows for an independence as you get older. And it just decreases the risk of injury because you are stronger. You are potentially more coordinated because you do have that mind-muscle connection that you may not have had before. That's like, strength training for everyone is good.
I agree.
You just have to learn how to alter it for each person, like customize it, because coming right off the bat, like I don't want my 2-year-old using a really weighted barbell. She
She
tries.
could, though.
She tries, yeah.
You're holding her back.
I probably am. Like she can deadlift like 20. Last time she deadlift like 22 pounds.
That's crazy.
Willow?
Zoe.
Oh, so I was like, oh my god.
No.
I was gonna be like, dear Lord.
Zoe's been around it her whole entire life. Like she's got her own little kettlebell where she does squats.
I remember at the old Elite Iron when she was in her little like hexagon thing while we're blasting corn slip, like it's shaking the building, loud as crap, and she's taking a nap.
Yep.
It's the craziest thing ever to me.
Willow's went to her first meet at 3 weeks old, I think.
That's
The
what
high
I'm
school
talking about.
States.
That's awesome. Do you think they're gonna be in the whole powerlifting room? Or
I
you just
would-
gonna kind of let them decide that?
Yeah, I don't want to push it on them, but
Yeah.
For
I
sure.
would love.
They're
for
gonna
both of
have to.
them.
Like, there's no way they can't. Like,
I'm
want to.
gonna like
show this to them in like 10 years.
I'm gonna encourage it, but I'm not gonna force it. They're gonna have the option if they want to learn.
Yeah.
Then come on, let's do it then and there. But I'm not gonna like, okay, we have training X, Y, and Z days at this time, and you have to be there.
Become
No.
like an army general model.
Yeah, no. Like, okay, you want to learn? Then what do you want to learn today? Squat,
Yeah.
bench, deadlift, maybe something with kettlebells.
Yeah.
And then let's go from there.
Yeah.
I'm going to work more on coordination and stability first because they are growing and I don't want to harm them in any way. But strength training, when done properly, does not stunt a child's growth. Studies have shown,
Yep.
and it's actually good for them.
It's good for all ages. I mean, I work
Yes.
mainly with the elderly population at their retirement home, and I mean, we don't have access to like barbells and stuff like that. But I definitely can see just
Wait,
from
you don't
the
have kilo
individuals.
plates over there?
You don't have a combo rack?
Dude, are you
What?
kidding?
But
What are they
like,
doing?
Just from the individuals that are involved in us training, we don't necessarily go like super strength based training, but I try and get that involved where I can. But even when most of the time getting, in your 80s and 90s, you will fall. When they get to that point where they are falling, they're not breaking hips, they're not breaking arms, shoulders, things of that nature. So like, I think even though we're working on like stabilization, strength-based stuff, they're not getting hurt as much, which I think is just as good of a benefit as anything really you could get out of that type of stuff. So I've always been a pretty firm believer in strength training in kind of many aspects of life, even when you're, I have a 93-year-old that still gets on the ground and like does push-ups and like we do
That's crazy.
floor bench with like
That's
a
awesome.
15-pound bar, like,
Yeah.
and he's 93. So like, and he's been doing it his whole life, and he's always said like, stay active, like stay doing this stuff, and you'll be fine. Like, how do you live to 93?
Yeah.
And being able to
He's doing
still be
something
able
right.
to get on the floor, do a push-up, do floor press, stuff
Yeah.
like that. So it's been super eye-opening to kind of see that in like another aspect of, I'm used to being around people that are my age or a little older, and kind of seeing, people that are in their 80s, 90s, even
Yeah.
70s working out in that aspect and how much it helps them. So I think that's super cool that,
it
we
is.
can all kind of
Always
see
something
that.
needed.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. But yeah, so I think I'm good. I have all my questions asked. Drew, do you have anything you'd like to bring up? Or?
I'm trying to think.
Drew did not do his homework.
No, we asked about a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You're wearing barefoot shoes.
I am.
Oh,
Come on.
I have
Least
been
barefoot
wearing.
shoes ever.
I'm actually barefoot.
Yep,
All right,
yep,
so
he wins.
Drew's got the dogs on display.
yeah.
Zoom in.
But how did you find them? And I know
How did
because
I find barefoot shoes?
you talked about a lot of like back pain, and you talked about the gait a lot today. Have you found that transition is fixed?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
So
Yeah.
in college, I had reoccurring stress fractures of it would vary, 3rd, 4th, and 5th metatarsals. It would leave me pretty much in a boot all summer going into fall. It was terrible. And I had low vitamin D, so that contributed to it. But also I still have flat feet. And they were trying everything like, okay, let's wear these high arch shoes. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. And I just had so much pain. And then when I got started in chiropractic school, we started analyzing gait, and one of the teachers there was all about barefoot. I was like, okay, I'm gonna give this a try. And that's when I slowly got rid of like normal running shoes, normal tennis shoes. I eventually got rid of all my Converse because I started realizing, hey, I can't spread my feet, my toes. My pinky toe is like jabbing into the side.
One quick thing.
Yes.
If anyone is wanting to get into barefoot, and you're not like 15, you gotta start slowly.
Yes.
Like
Really?
when I first wore them outside, I felt like I was walking on like needles. It hurts, but then you slowly do it. Just wanted to say that.
Yeah,
Because-
like you could feel every single rock in your feet would
Yeah.
be sore. But now I pretty much only wear barefoot type shoes. I do have a pair of, they're as barefooty as I can get, like
The
hiking
Rockies.
shoes.
Oh, no. Hiking shoes.
Yeah, like hiking
Yeah.
shoes, because pre-injury, we would hike all the time. Like I would have Zoe on my back and her carrier. I have Willow on my front and her carrier, and we just go
Hey,
hike.
that's rucking.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, yes.
Really?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Wow.
And that was I love to hike. And those shoes were good, like, if it had been muddy. But for the most part, I wear barefoot shoes for everything.
Yeah.
Like, literally, I can put 12, 15 miles on my feet, and I feel better now than when I was younger.
Wow.
I'm not gonna lie. I looked them up with Edie last night.
See, everyone has been crapping on me because I'm also
Okay, not crapping. I
it makes
crap on
fun.
you
I
for
crap
a
on it.
specific thing.
I'll be honest,
It's
I
not
crap
the
it.
shoes.
no.
The toe spaces?
Well, yeah, we've
No,
already
not
talked
even
about
that. It's the
mouth.
sleeping tape.
Yeah.
Oh, the mouth.
the hostage tape.
Yeah,
let's
it's
really
literally-
let's
Oh my
call it by its
God.
name. Call it by its name.
Literally
It's
what it's
hostage
called.
tape.
After the podcast, when you actually had its name, I started getting Facebook and
Yeah.
Instagram
Oh,
ads
yeah.
for
What
hostage
happened?
tape.
I
I
got
get
it
it
too.
too. We'll all
Every
get them
like
today.
reels, it'll be on my thing.
Yeah.
And it's just this dude with the beard be like, it's the best
It's
thing
so
if you have a
crazy.
beard. I'm like, dude, this is not.
Oh, but back to
You sound like Anya, who's like the barefoot queen. She had the same thing. They put her like she couldn't walk.
yeah.
Orthos, everything, and then she slowly
Yeah,
went to
I had
barefoot.
custom orthotics, and then I started like looking like, okay, you have flat feet. Instead of trying to force my feet into the mold, how about I work on strengthening my feet?
I love this so much.
Yeah, I started doing foot specific strengthening exercises. And that helped a lot. That helped with my arches. Yeah, granted, I still have relatively flat feet, but my arches are way better than where they were before. I can move all of my toes. That drives Jay crazy because he can't move his toes.
Would you have independent dexterity with each one?
That would be crazy.
Because I
three.
do.
I have a funny story.
So I do with my like.
My pinky toe is little and
My
it doesn't
second
even like
toe's
touch the
in.
ground really.
I could do my
But,
pinky.
okay, I was just wondering because
So-
that's like my life goal.
So I have a funny story. So I've always been able to move every single one of my toes, like my fingers. My mom can do
That's
it too. I can too. I was with Edie in Kentucky, and we were at a big family reunion. This is some Kentucky middle of nowhere type stuff. And one of the competitions
off
they
Kentucky.
had was shucking a piece of corn with your feet.
Oh, I could have done that.
Okay.
Wow.
I did it in under, I think, 40
Oh,
seconds.
wow.
That's
impressive.
crazy.
And
Yeah.
no one had even gotten a leaf off, and I had
Oh,
done it
wow.
all.
That's-
So like my feet, like I
So
can
why
lift
aren't
my
you in
toes.
barefoot shoes?
I'd probably benefit me. I need to get a pair and slowly test it out. But
Dude,
it is
these are
funny.
like 30.
Yeah,
no,
that's
they're
the one I
like
was talking about.
$40 on Amazon.
Witten? Yeah.
Yes.
Those are great.
I had my other pair. I got them when I was pregnant for Zoe, maybe, and I just got a new pair.
Barefoot shoes last a long
They
time.
last forever.
And it doesn't, you wouldn't think they do because they don't have a sole, but like there's nothing to wear down.
Yeah.
Like, so
That's fair.
Yeah.
all of my Vivos I've had I still wear all of them.
And I can just throw them in the washer when they're stinky or dirty
Yeah.
and pull
Yeah.
them out and let them air dry and they're fine.
I just don't know if I could ever bring myself.
I will
I'll be
say,
honest. Like,
you take a hit fashion wise. Like
Yeah.
dressing with them is a lot. Like I can't go
I've got
and
a
dress
style to
and look
keep.
cool,
all right.
but it's also like I'm not in pain like I used to be.
Fun fact, if you go to Etsy, they can hand make barefoot shoes for you.
I'm about to have Jordan 1 barefoot shoes.
No, I'm looking at getting some cute sandals, barefoot sandals, because
I have barefoot sandals.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm
they're so.
They're
I'm
ugly,
pretty
I'll
sure
admit
they
it.
are
Do you?
ugly.
Oh, they're so ugly.
Are they
Oh,
the
they're
zero
terrible.
barefoot?
No, those are the worst. I have
Jay
the
has them
sham
and they're
ones.
so ugly.
The zero ones you make them yourself.
What's the difference between that and just flip flops?
Oh, flip-flops are so
for
bad.
your feet.
Really?
So
okay,
bad.
What is the difference there then?
So I don't know the entire science. I could show a video, but there's something with not having the heel supported on the flip flop.
And you have to like
while
grip
you're
your
walking.
toes.
Yeah,
Interesting.
the way your
Yeah.
big toe is like, because your big toe goes all the way up to your glutes.
Yeah.
So like, it controls all of that. And so the way your big toe is like hammering down the shoe to keep your heel on it messes up your gait, your movement patterns.
Yeah.
Flip flops are actually horrible to wear.
Especially if you have foot problems, knee problems, anything like
Yeah.
that, ditch the flip flops.
Wow.
Barefoot
That's
shoes
crazy.
will work up.
Birkenstocks.
Also really bad.
Oh yeah. What about Burke?
Yeah, because I kind of want to give me
Yeah.
a pair.
They're
I
not-
wear them occasionally, but they're not. They're not.
Not
the
ideal.
best.
It's because they don't. What's the word? They're hard.
They're very.
Yeah.
So they're hard
okay.
on your feet,
That's fair.
and they're not as wide as you would think.
Yeah.
But they are the hard part of it isn't good. You want a
Yeah,
shoe. The
'cause
two
it's
things
just
to barefoot,
walking.
or three, is zero drop. So the shoe is flat the whole way. You have enough space to splay your toe, not for it not to be crammed, but to splay. and then you also want it to be the flexible so you can actually walk with your like body.
That's interesting.
Which finding appropriate shoes for children is so hard.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, I go and I'm like, okay, how does light? You want a light shoe? I'm like,
Yeah.
this is too heavy, and I'll move it. Like, no, there's no flexibility because when children are learning to walk, they need to learn to spread their
That
toes.
controlling, yeah.
They need to learn to feel the floor. They need to learn all of that. And most shoes that are designed for kids, they have a narrow toe box.
Yeah.
They're super hard and they're heavy. And so I try, even if it's like the cheapest shoe, I'm looking because I
It's
want
better than
flexibility.
something like that.
I want as flat as possible. I want them to be able to spread their toes. Yeah.
It's a good advertising piece right there.
Yeah.
Now you want
We're not sponsored.
really sucks? Is dress shoes for barefoot.
I'll have to
Doesn't
send you some
Barefoot have
links.
dress shoes?
Working
I thought
they
you
do.
got some.
I got a
Yeah.
pair. Working like
They
my
looked pretty
internship. Now they're flat, so they're zero drop. They're not as wide as I would like.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I find with all the barefoot dress shoes. They work. No one bats an eye.
Try looking for women's
That's tough.
barefoot dress shoes.
It's all awful.
I have some Rothy's. They're okay. They're the best I can find right now, but I can definitely tell that I can't spread my
Can't
toes.
splay.
So is
Yeah, I can't
Barefoot
splay.
a brand or is that the style?
It's
Barefoot
the style.
is also
there's
a
also a
brand.
brand. Too.
Okay, because I know
I don't
this is
love them as
Vivio
much.
Barefoot,
So
but
there's-
it's like those are considered barefoots.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
There's like Vivo, Widden, Feel Grounds, Groundies.
There's a lot.
Jeez.
I could go on for hours. Bare feet or barefoot.
Yeah.
BAR.
You like
the
name
one
every single brand.
I could. That's the sad thing. Because you've got to do your research.
Yeah.
Zero's a big one. They were like
Zero is
the OGs. I don't love how they look as much.
No, they're so
Like they're
ugly.
really ugly. Yeah. But anyway. I just
That's
wanted to ask you
interesting.
about it because I think I needed that moral support that like someone else
Yeah,
wears.
I
barefoot shoes.
always wear them. And since I've worn heels maybe once.
For like squat heels or like heels? Okay, I was about to ask what's your
For
opinion on
squat
that.
heels.
Because I'm obviously not flexible. I can go to depth without them, but
So do you
I
work on
much.
your
Yeah.
ankle dorsiflexion
I try to
at all?
get more on the.
But
ones
have
that
you
heelys
done
'cause
the
they're tight.
banded dorsiflexion?
That
No
will give you
idea what
like
that
2
is.
inches.
That
Is that
Really?
the
And
where
that's
you
a
lay
lot.
down and pull it back?
Nope.
Oh,
I'll have
okay.
to show you.
Okay,
Wednesday.
because I have no idea what that is.
You've probably seen me doing it before.
I've done it in practice for a
Yeah.
lot of people. Like even just me, who I have been wearing barefoot shoes and squatting in barefoot
Yeah.
shoes, because I really haven't trained in heels in a while.
I love
Yeah.
heels so much.
I mean, I have the new wide toe box.
You got the
Squat
TYRs?
University. I have those.
Yeah, so do I.
Granted, I got to only wear them for like 6.
Wait, that's
squats.
the heels or
The ones
Yes,
I have.
those are the heels. I have
Wow.
those.
I didn't love
I'm
them.
not sold on them.
Is it
yet.
just because the toe box, like you're forced into like it being
No,
cramped?
these are wide.
No, these are wide toe box, but where I've gotten used to lifting with a flat foot,
Okay.
it just feels different. Granted, I might be able to keep my torso upright a little bit more
Yeah.
wearing the heels because I have a
Really?
very long torso.
Okay.
Like very long torso, and I tend to have a little more like medium bar placement. I used to
Yeah.
be low bar, but just having that slight torso lean put a little too much strain on my low
Yeah.
back, so I went to where I can keep a
Yeah.
relatively upright torso when I squat.
Like I know I've got. This is funny. So me and my dad were measuring for backpacks the other day. All right, Matthew's about to pop.
Oh, there we go.
We were about to do this huge like camping trip. It was like 2 weeks out in the mountains and stuff. And we were getting our backpacks figured out. And we found out I had a longer torso than my dad. And my dad's like 6'3", 6'4". So it
Yeah.
was such a weird.
Big guy.
Yeah, big dude. And it was such a weird thing. But finding out I have that, and like I've tried with the flats. Before, not very long, not like actual session. I'm sure it'd be better if I actually did it and practice it. But like in the heels, to me, obviously I'm so used to them, just the balance feels better.
Yeah.
And James yells at me because I'm way too low on my back most of the time, but I've raised it up since then, and it's just.
Oh, guess who has the same problem?
Oh really?
Yeah, his bar
This
is
one gets on to me
so
every single time.
low. Oh my god!
But it feels great.
I know.
It's awesome.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love being French. So now the real question: who's your favorite athlete, me or Matthew?
Oh
Now that he's-
yeah.
Oh my
I'm just
gosh.
kidding.
Hey,
I'm
dude,
just
you got
kidding.
5
Don't
seconds.
answer that. Yeah, you have-
5 seconds fast. 5, 4,
What is Matthew's
3.
downfall?
Oh.
Not enough confidence.
Fair. Yeah.
What? Matthew?
Not
Are
enough
you
confidence.
kidding me? This
Not
is
enough
the biggest
confidence in
ego.
his lifting.
That's facts.
This is
That's
the
very
biggest
much
ego
facts.
guy during our practices.
He fakes it.
Thank you.
Okay,
He
you don't
fakes it.
fake to this caliber on a daily
someone
basis.
finally understands. It's all a bit. All of it's a bit.
That's crazy.
No.
Like 90% of it is a bit. I have no
He is
confidence
not
in
confident
anything I do.
enough.
I'm
at
confident
all.
in one thing, and that's coffee. Latte art and coffee.
I think I'm too egotistical. Like I rush some of my lifts sometimes.
You do. You don't slow it down,
What was the
and
question?
you just need to.
We were talking about
slow
like
it down
who
and
was
feel
the
everything.
better
Who
athlete
is the
between
best
you two, and
Who do I prefer?
he asked, he was like, "What's his downfall?" And yours is like the
Oh,
confidence,
yeah.
Yeah.
which is very funny.
Because we were talking about like we were talking about PRs the other day or like goals, and she was like, I was like, what do you think I'll squat? Because my goals right now are 5, 3, 6, and she's like, I think you'll squat 5 if you get confident in your lift. Not even like you need to fix it. She's like, just have confidence, and that's
what I like to
so much of.
I mean, we've
power.
talked about this before. Once you break past that number,
Mentally,
I think for
yeah.
me there was like
That's
a huge. Thing.
huge.
Even
Yeah.
especially with like bench press. Once I broke that 400 barrier, it's like now if I have like a
Yeah.
396, 402, 407 range bench press, I'm
like,
not
oh,
gonna
I'm
be
good
there
to do
like
this.
terrified. I'm gonna be like, okay, like this is fine. I've done this before. Like let's do it again.
What was
Mine was-
weird? Oh, sorry.
Mine was just a 500 squat for the longest time because I think the first time I did it was it was 2 years ago. I remember because
4 years old.
it was 2 years ago, and I was stuck on it for a year and a half. And it was I finally beat it by like 2.5 keys. That was it, and now it's finally gone up at least a little bit since then. But yeah, mental barriers not my
Yeah,
favorite.
and sometimes if you're stuck at a certain number and you're like always failing that number, but you know you're strong enough,
Yeah.
go to the next kilo jump. Like, come on.
Yeah.
It's literally just a mind thing.
It is.
Yeah.
Like for the longest
100%.
time, I think it was 205 on bench. I just hated 205, so I would skip 205. I would go from like 190 to 210 or
You know,
something like that.
You're
You
right.
just
I'm
skip
going
it.
to 700 deadlift.
Yeah, I don't like 6, so I'm just gonna go
660 is too
Hey,
low.
let's talk
7 sounds good.
realistic jumps here.
I think it's realistic.
What was
I wanna
weird
bring
about
it.
it was 405 was a mental block on deadlift forever. I mean, I hit 395.
You
Deadlift
can't.
395.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then for 500 just like the first time I attempted it, I fail. The second time, my coach said I was gonna hit 484 at the meet.
No, it wasn't.
We all thought that was an undershoot.
I mean, let's be real.
My
Your
training was
deadlifts
not
and
going
training
well.
had not
So
been.
I was traveling a
good.
lot for work, and I just like nothing was clicking. But when you said that,
It just
okay,
lit a fire under your
It
ass.
was so
I
No, because it was
read
the
that?
day you said that we were deadlifting.
well,
and
that's the
net,
first time I hit
he
500.
lost his mind.
You said that, and I was burnt. Like there was probably heat radiating from me. I don't know if you did that on purpose or not.
I mean,
We'll wait to find out. But
yeah.
I was like radiating, and I remember I hit 451 easy. I go up to I think straight to 495 or something like that, and I hit it easy. And I wait, and my videos weren't going through. The only time they haven't said loaded up 507, and I come back and I'm like 484 my ass, and I was so
It was
mad.
so funny.
I mean, that was like
Now I'm tripling.
First time I squatted 5 was at the owl liftoff.
That was a beautiful
That was
squat.
a huge moment
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
like my whole like the 2 months I'd been powerlifting, I was like, Drew, I want to squat like 500 pounds. Like that's like I didn't even think I could ever deadlift that until let alone like squat it. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so insane. And so like being able to get past that at the owl liftoff was fantastic.
Oh,
'cause
yeah,
now
that's
it's like
huge.
completely fine. But like, and I know you chased that 500-pound squat. Like breaking that 500 squat barrier was like I can't wait for you to do that because it's like such a
You're gonna be there.
monumental
And you're
moment.
gonna be
I'll be there.
Yeah,
I'll be there, and it's like such a monumental moment because like I feel like I know a lot of people that can squat.
No, it's okay. I'm gonna have to go see it.
I'll scream. I'm gonna be honest.
Same.
I know
So
a
was
lot
I.
of people that can squat 400 pounds. Like a lot of people can deadlift 400 pounds. But once you get to like, I feel like even in like a commercial gym, squatting, even in powerlifting, squatting 500 pounds is like, wow.
Yeah.
Like that's a really powerful
452 is a
visual.
pretty good squat.
No,
Not
that's
really.
not. I'm not saying it's not. But like that 500 barrier, I
Yeah.
feel like for a lot of people.
That's when
that
people
I've
like
seen,
really.
yeah,
Squat and deadlift,
Yeah.
it's like starts to get real. You
Oh
know?
yeah, when you reach
Yeah.
that 500.
for
Yeah.
sure.
And then especially as a lightweight, as yourself.
Dude, well that's, and I'm sure everyone can attest to this, but like what I hate about this sport is I'm like, 500 pound deadlift at 180, that's crazy. And then there's
Yeah.
some guy 180 doing 7. I'm like, come on, you know?
Yeah,
That's
that's
ridiculous. Some of the
crazy.
deadlift specialists.
The
now, it's
CNAPs?
ridiculous.
First place had 150 keys on my total.
Wow.
And my weight class too. He totaled 863 kilos.
Who was
It
that?
was like 130.
I think
he's
he
the
was-
flex guy. What's his name?
He's a
Oh,
110.
wait.
Oh, no,
He's a
no, no,
110.
no.
No, that-
110.
Flex
Never
guy.
mind. I don't think I refereed the 110s.
Castile?
Taylor
Yeah.
Castillo was the 100.
No,
Best
was
man
he-
lifter.
Yeah, that was 100.
Yeah.
We were watching that.
Yeah.
Was he on my platform?
Saturday night?
Yeah.
He might have been. He was.
Because I had like all the world records.
he was
I mean,
an
American records
obvious
for
jump. Like
Were you talking about 110s or 100s?
hundreds.
he beat
Yeah, Taylor
second
Castillo's
place
the
by
guy who
70
won.
kilos.
Was he the guy?
That's insane.
I think he had longer
Blue
hair.
singlet, maybe?
No, he was wearing
No.
all black.
Oh, the USA. I think that's who won my weight class. He was wearing a USA singlet.
There was there was a guy, really big deadlifter in yours. That
Yeah.
was the blue singlet guy.
He had the biggest deadlift. I think he ended up getting second or third overall.
Yeah. But the other guy, he was a 110% athlete.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he was wearing an
Trying to find
SBD singlet or something.
Okay, I need to pause now.
Yeah.
It's okay. Brief intermission.
Yes. Oh.
Yeah, no,
So we'll
that
just cut
guy's.
this. We can just cut this part probably.
Oh, we
Yeah.
can talk.
I gotta pee.
Yeah.
It's okay. No, well, I think this has been a great. How long have we been going?
I have no idea. But
I don't know.
I'm enjoying listening.
2,700 4-second intervals.
2,700.
4-second intervals.
That's a long.
So
time.
4 times 2,700. Is that what you're saying?
That's in
2,700.
seconds.
I don't know.
4 times.
I don't know, but we're not gonna come back here and cut it, so we can just keep talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is gonna be a pain.
This has been
in the butt
awesome.
to find.
Shout out
Yeah,
Buff Chick.
Yep.
Shout out Helomix.
Yep.
Prime.
Shout out Prime.
use code Ray for
Code
Helo
Ray.
Mix
Or
until they
Ray.
get us hooked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we literally have 4, 5 Helomix bottles
Yeah.
sitting out.
We all have a
As long
lot.
as, dude, I was actually really surprised with the Buff Chick stuff. I'm,
They
I'm
were good.
thoroughly impressed, especially the greens. I think pre-workout, I think I would choose differently just because I like different pre-workouts. But I think like with the whole Buff greens thing, I think
The
that
greens
was
and
really
creatine
good.
were really
The
good.
creatine was really
What was
nice.
the creatine? The strawberry kiwi.
Yeah,
That was
I haven't
really
gotten
good.
into like other supplements like that.
I mean, because
Yeah.
a lot of that stuff's expensive.
It
and
is.
for me, I can't like greens. I can buy vegetables really cheap
Yeah.
and just
Right.
buy vegetables.
Yeah.
But
Dude, like athletic
I-
greens is like 150 a month or something like that.
that's insane.
That's a pair of like really nice barefoot shoes.
in a month. No, but like a month.
Yeah,
like that's
see, I
crazy.
couldn't do that. But I think these are also supposed to be reasonable. I don't know what the prices are, but I think they're actually supposed to be pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
The yeah, no, I like the strawberry kiwi one was really good. That was probably my favorite like flavor.
I would
that
mix
is my
that.
favorite. I'll say that. That's my favorite because one I
Mixing
could
that
stack
with
that.
sour
Yeah.
watermelon CBum stuff.
Yeah,
the,
that'd
the
be
my
crazy.
pre-workout.
Sticking
that would
that
be
pre-
awesome.
One
That's
time.
Oh, they have a watermelon flavor.
Oh,
They have
I'm
watermelon flavor
really
too.
getting into it.
I've
man.
really
Buff
been liking
Chicks.
watermelon lately.
Yeah.
It's like a Jolly Rancher.
I like Jolly Ranchers.
Like,
Yeah.
because my pre-workout I take is the Chris Bumstead Essentials. It's $30, 30 servings. For me, it's like the best bang for my buck pre-workout that I've
It
been
is.
able to buy. But they use 110, and stuff like that. But I would like the creatine. That's something that I would really like mix with my pre-workout. I think would be great. I was saying
I would just drink that.
Yeah, well, I mean, you
I
can
wake
drink
up,
it or whatever.
Put my
but-
SBD belt on and I
Yeah.
drink that.
I did discover.
But like for me personally, like I'm very much so. I've been really taking like the same 2 pre-workouts like my whole life.
Yeah.
So like pre-workouts probably not going to change. But like that the greens thing, that stuff was awesome, and the creatine, like that's some stuff that I would actually like really consider. Spending some of my monthly supplement
Yeah.
budget on is doing that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really
like the
liked it.
greens.
It was really good.
Yeah.
Pina colada was. But then a smoothie, make like a icy.
I
That'd be really good. No, like,
Yeah.
that'd actually be really good.
Yeah.
Ninja cream.
A little slushy.
We need to get one.
You guys
I want
do
one.
need to get a creamy.
You have one?
What's a
Yes.
What's a
Okay,
creamy?
we need a serious, because they're expensive.
Okay, what's a
right?
Okay, I found mine at Walmart for $60.
We're going to Walmart after this.
Okay, because it's been
There,
what's
it
a
was,
creamy?
it was randomly on an end
You gotta
shelf.
look it
Oh,
up.
it makes ice cream.
It's like oh my gosh.
I can make protein ice cream. I literally just.
So on
mix-
Amazon?
But it's like
It's
better. Like it's
$180.
not like the blender
No.
like
Yeah.
stuff. Like it actually
actual
goes
ice
through
cream.
the
It
ice cream
like
process.
tastes like ice cream.
Yeah.
It
Like
has
got that mint chocolate chip.
consistency.
Yeah, like that would be
Mint
so
chocolate chip
busted.
protein.
Yeah. Like the whole, or you can even make like smoothies, like all like
Pre-workout ice cream.
I mean, I did see on TikTok where someone put watermelon and tequila and froze it
I saw that.
and made
Yum.
like a watermelon tequila
That's my type of ice
sorbet
cream.
That sounds
in the
so-
creamy.
That sounds so good. Drew's like,
You could do
I don't
like
like alcohol.
you
Yeah,
could do
I don't like
margaritas.
anti-alcohol.
Yeah, and this is the anti-alcohol.
I mean, I
Y'all
don't
are
drink a
young.
lot
Y'all are too
anymore.
young.
That is true.
Sucks to suck.
Yeah, well,
Oh yeah, that does suck.
I don't have kids
No
yet. I
alcohol,
don't even
it's
drink.
alcohol.
I don't drink that. I drink like maybe once a month.
I drink all
this
the
guy
time.
gets hammered. He gets hammered every weekend.
I'm gonna start watching your recovery.
Yeah, my Monday workout's always the worst. I'm hungover.
I wonder why.
I'm just kidding. No, I rarely drink. Like I drink.
You just can't drink, and then because it's so much more saddening going to the gym and having an awful session.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and like for me, like anytime, really rarely. It's always when I'm like on vacation, and I very rarely like actually get like really intoxicated.
Yeah.
Like I think I had a beer with some coworkers like last week at that big party. Just one, like it was not like it was just
Yeah.
a casual drink. I don't think that's gonna do anything to you, but like doing that regularly as well as
Yeah.
like actually getting like really drinking and really when you get to that like multiple 4, 5, 6, 7, 8
Yeah.
beers or whatever. I had a beer. I had another beer. Have you ever seen
Someone
that
finds
video
me some
where it's like-
keys. Someone get him his car keys.
Oh.
But yeah. So that's how my view on alcohol. I don't drink a lot.
We never turned the
I
light on.
just don't.
Oh no.
It's okay. The lighting's good.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I'll put it through an AI.
Put through AI the video rendering.
Oh yeah, Matt. We like use AI now to like edit the audio and like all types of stuff. It's
Wow.
pretty interesting. Yeah. It does all that
We
stuff.
transitioned from table to couch too. That was a big
Yeah,
transition.
That was pretty big.
Yeah, that was a big
Well,
one.
'cause
I've
we
been
knew,
trying
like,
to get
we
that
weren't
for
gonna be able
weeks.
to have 4 people on the table.
Because it looked bad.
Our last
It looked
episode we
bad.
did couch,
Yeah.
and I think it works really well.
What last episode? I haven't
It hasn't
seen
gone
one
yet.
since
Yeah,
like
true.
the,
Yeah, so I've had
before CNAPs.
stupid problems with my laptop and like I couldn't download. Well, Matthew, it took you
Hence,
an
it's
hour
on
to
my
set this up.
laptop now.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
we're just doing audio file on mine. I'll upload the other ones that we've done. Because like they were exporting and then shut down halfway through, and then I couldn't upload again. So a lot of stupid, but we think we're getting it figured. This one's definitely figured out. This one's without a doubt figured out.
Yeah.
So I'm happy about that though. But yeah,
It's like I told you, I have podcasts that I listen to.
And when she goes through all of them, then she listens to our podcast.
Yours is in the rotation. Yeah. My Mondays.
how
start
high
out-
up on the rotation?
Well, okay, let me tell you. Mondays start out with Murder with My Husband.
Oh,
Okay,
gosh. My
come
mom
on.
does this stuff too.
I never really liked them until Jay and I got started. Like
Oh, you're listening? I thought it was like a podcast called Murder with My
it is
Husband.
a podcast called Murder with My Husband.
Oh, but then you also listen to it with your
Oh, I
husband.
thought you said
I mean,
murdering
we
my
do
husband.
murdering my
I
husband.
was like, you're
I mean,
listening to that with
occasionally
him?
I want to, but
Oh,
no, it's a true crime podcast.
oh.
Oh, okay.
And
The
then
Bed and Breakfast Massacre.
yes, and
The
then
Bed
they
and
have
Breakfast
another
Massacre.
one called Binged on Wednesdays, and then I listen to yours,
Yeah.
and then I will sprinkle in Squat University if he has one.
I love Squat University.
Yes, and then sometimes
listen to
RTS
Huberman?
podcasts, but sometimes they're a little dry.
Whose
Who's-
podcast?
RTS,
How about
training
ours?
systems.
Was ours dry?
Ours is pretty good. Have you watched?
I think
you
ours
ever
is
listen
good.
to Andrew Huberman? I love his podcast.
What's his podcast called?
I
Probably
think,
not.
yeah, you probably haven't if you don't know his name because
No.
it's just the Huberman Lab.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh, he's the best.
and then other like
Just talks about
strength
sleep.
and conditioning ones.
Yeah.
But I love
Yeah.
podcasts and audiobooks.
Love
That's
audiobooks.
yes, because I don't have time to sit down, and if I do have time to sit down, I don't want to read a book.
That's
I'd
facts.
rather be listening to
manga.
anything while I'm driving, cleaning, anything like that.
The silence is so scary that I always have a podcast.
That's funny. I just have my box fan going in my room constantly.
Yeah, I have South Park playing while I do my homework.
Wait, hold up. So last night, or yesterday, I was up at 5 for this meet, where I left the house at 5,
Yeah.
and I heard South Park in your room.
Yeah.
Were you watching it awake, or were you sleeping and it was on?
No, either one, I'll turn it on like as I'm going, because I
Yeah.
can't go in complete silence. Like I'll stay up and I'll look at.
Well, you come from a big family. I think
Yeah,
that's a
it's-
thing. I come from a big family.
Yeah, it's very stressful.
Don't you have like
I can't
10
do it.
brothers or something?
There
Yeah.
are 11 of us total. I have
Yeah.
5 brothers and 5 sisters.
That's still crazy.
Aren't you like the oldest?
I am.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's why, like, you guys are like, meh.
Like
And
siblings
going,
to you?
and going, and going to like, yeah, it's like, I've dealt with this. I've had worse. Like, you guys are nothing.
That's good to know.
That's insane. This is, I don't know if this is like a personal question or people ask this. Do you want a family like that?
Hell no.
I was wondering, I was like, how many, like, are you planning to have like 8
Bro.
kids?
No.
That's still
She
the
can't
plan.
No.
You can have a whole
Many
powerlifting
kids.
army.
That's what I'm
That's
talking
what
Do
he
about.
said.
your siblings
I want
participate in
army
this,
of-
or is it, like, do they do any athletics? Like
My
that, or-
youngest brother has dabbled in it.
How old is your youngest brother?
22. He's your guys' age.
Wow,
That's
20.
crazy.
My youngest sister is.
Tell him join the
I think
club.
16. He lives in Ohio.
Tell him to move here.
I've been trying, dude.
Move, bro.
He
Yeah.
needs to be. He's a big guy. So I'm like the second shortest in my family.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
That's
Yeah.
So
crazy.
y'all got like,
maybe third
what?
shortest.
That's crazy.
She's my sister. My first sister. She is 9 years younger than me, and she's like 6 feet tall.
That's insane.
How big are your parents?
My mom is 5'3".
What? I
Yes.
was not expecting that.
Yes, I'm pretty sure I was taller than my mom when I was 9, maybe 10.
Jeez.
Yeah, 5'3".
That's pretty funny.
Petite. Think of like cheerleader, gymnast,
so
cross
funny.
country
Wow.
runner.
Yeah.
Tiny.
Yeah.
And my dad he's probably 6'3". He
foot
wrestled.
tall. Yeah.
He was
Okay.
on the.
Sorry, Michael.
He was an alternate for the Olympic team in '88,
Jeez.
I think.
Okay.
And he's been on several wrestling like national teams.
So you've got those genetics.
I mean, I guess so. He's competed like all over the
Yeah.
world.
That's awesome.
But yeah, my sisters are all at least 5'8". My brothers are tall. My one brother, he and I are 9 months and 12 days apart.
Okay.
So
Wow.
yeah,
Quick.
yeah.
They got the
No,
work.
thank you. No, thank you. Yeah. But he's a professional ballroom dancer, and
I almost dated a ballroom dancer once.
Wow.
they're high maintenance.
You hear the words.
So is
almost
Matthew.
dated.
So is Matthew. So
I was like,
Yeah, I can see
hey,
that.
you want to hang out this week? Sorry, I'm in Ukraine. Okay, I guess not.
That's crazy.
But yeah,
I cannot imagine having 10 other siblings.
it's
yeah,
wild.
5 is too much.
Yeah,
They're
that's
crazy.
also-
Bro, 2 older siblings. I'm like, Lord help me.
I have one younger, and I'm like, God. I'm like, Anna, stop. That's
Yeah.
insane.
So growing up was crazy. Our punishments a lot of times were you have to do 100 squats, you have to do 100 push-ups,
Wow.
100 sit-ups.
I'm gonna.
Okay.
That's
We have-
crazy.
So cool.
Dude, it's fucking sucked. Because I have a tendency to, and I would get more push-ups, more sit-ups, more squats.
And now you're a top
and
tier.
more,
Yeah.
and more,
Gotcha.
and more. Or we'd have to do
All I got
laps
was a
around the
belt.
house.
All I
Oh
got
no,
was
I
a
got
belt.
that too. Trust me, I got my fair
The
share.
belt
of
and the
that.
wooden spoon.
The wooden
belt,
spoon,
frying
the
pan.
belt, Yeah.
You got a cast iron.
Yeah, no.
Matthew just got put in his basement.
That explains so much.
That's, so okay, one of our first episodes. I think we were talking about like
I think that was the second one.
where we got our start to training, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I adopt this mindset. I'm like, podcast mindset. And so I was like, I was in my basement and I was working out, and Drew goes, Noah
know.
goes, were you locked in? And I'm thinking like, was I mentally like locked in?
And he went on a spiel of like, yeah, dude, I was there, like I was totally trained. I was like,
I was like chained in my basement or something.
Then it was like the dad would put up a mural of like the outside for you to feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
It was so fun. You just kept.
I was not
was
locked
fun.
in my basement against my will.
It was so
I was
man.
homeschooled though, so that explains.
Basically.
I mean,
staying out.
I was homeschooled until my sophomore year of high school.
I was the opposite. I was not homeschooled until my sophomore year.
My parents my dad wanted us to do sports, and they were kind of like, do sports, and because we're not paying for your college, so get a scholarship, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
You
I
had
did
11
track and field.
colleges.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Run the numbers on that.
Yeah, so I did track, got a scholarship for that, and then academics scholarship, and so
Yeah.
that's how I paid for a majority of my undergrad.
Do you ever plan on going back?
Maybe. I would like to do maybe some master's classes. Maybe specifically towards exercise and movement, that kind of thing. I've thought about getting my CSCS because I do have a lot of the background on the test, but honestly, I don't want to. It would be cool to be a strength and conditioning coach.
Yeah.
But I want to be able to teach people the way
Yeah.
I want to teach people, not be
Yeah.
stuck in a program for whatever sport it is and just watch them do poor movement choices. Because I see that a lot
Oh yeah.
with
High school
athletes.
football.
I gotta
high
show
school.
you. We had on arm day on Thursday in our weight room in high school, and it was called Yoked Thursday, and it was 50 reps of like 20 different exercises.
Ours was called Arm Blaster 1000.
Yep, I'll show you
Be
after the
1,000
podcast is over.
reps.
I'll try and find it. But I mean, it was like literally 50 reps of like probably 15 different exercises, and it was called Yoked Thursday.
Oh,
Let
wow.
me try and find this. And I mean, looking back on it now, I was like, oh my gosh, like,
My school training
How
was
did-
me in my basement.
but like, how did we even like?
Like
how
ours
is that
was
possible.
our weight training for like everybody from football had to do it, and it was that you
Oh,
do
yeah.
like the school weight training room, and you'd
Holy crap.
Yeah,
Okay, let's get some rhabdo.
yeah.
Oh
I
my
mean,
gosh.
it's yeah.
Literally.
Like 50 dumbbell tricep extensions, 50
Oh,
barbell
God.
J curls, 50 skull crushers, 50 dumbbell alternate hammer curls, 25 each arm, tricep extensions, more dumbbell J curls,
That's
single arm
excessive.
tricep extensions, barbell curls, band tricep extensions, concentration curls, dumbbell
Ooh, I
tricep
like
extensions.
concentration girls.
Yeah, but at the very end, it was
Yeah.
terrible. But yeah,
crazy.
so and all of us had to use the same weight in the same band.
Oh.
It was brutal. So like me and
That's
we
a
were in the
shit
senior.
show.
We were in
Yeah.
this. Me and my best friend Will from home. We were the only two sophomores in the senior level football class because we somehow just got put in there. So me and him before like almost every single day for school, we'd go to Ingles and on sale they'd have their bakery stuff from the previous day
Yeah.
on sale. And we go get like a dozen donuts and eat 6 donuts to try and gain weight to like compete
Oh
with
my
these
God.
senior like almost college level athletes.
So that's what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
But it was like the most terrifying. It was a horrible experience. But yeah, that was one of the workouts we did.
Yeah.
And we all had the same bands, same dumbbells, all types of stuff. It was
Yeah.
terrible. So yeah.
Sounds awesome.
How to literally destroy your arms, like Rich Piana's 8
Rich
hour-
Piana's
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
You have
That's
8
what it
hours
was.
left to live.
Yeah, yeah. And now looking back on it, our coach was like gargantuous. I'm talking like bodybuilder level. Like
Yeah.
definitely running a bunch of stuff, and like we all had no idea. Like, but like looking back
But
on
literally-
it,
We all
was-
thought he just followed the same program
Yeah.
as us.
He was huge. I'm
Yeah.
talking like 250 shredded, like 6 foot tall.
Oh, so like you.
No, not like no. Like he was like a not professional level bodybuilder stuff, but like
You could
pretty
tell
good.
he was
like it was not a
jacked.
natural thing. Like it
He had
was
some
just-
help with his recovery.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But like he was the one. He had like he was our high school coach, and he was like 25 or whatever, and he just had us do all these crazy
I was
stuff.
That's
about to say
nuts.
that's
And I mean,
pretty
he just had all these high schoolers doing. I mean, it's
Yeah.
absolutely insane stuff.
We had the worst. It would normally be 4 stations three of the stations would have compound lifts, but in each station there would be at least 3 to 4 exercises for each one, and you had 30 minutes to do all of it. So they'd have a timer.
Yep.
So it'd be like you have to get a top set of 4 by 10 on squat, but you didn't have time to warm up, so you had to jump to. A lot of these kids were doing like 315 quarter squats or 405.
We also maxed out every 3 weeks.
That's crazy.
We would start at like 85%,
Yeah.
then do 90%, then 95, and then max. Every single 4 weeks.
That's crazy.
And we had 16-week periods, so it was like, we get like 4
Hey,
blocks.
at least you're relevant on your max, you know? People ask me my max, so I'm like, I don't know. I maxed
Yeah,
like
I know,
3
but we
months
would
ago.
fail our max like the last 2 blocks. We would decrease weight, and then our coaches would get mad. But in reality, everyone was hurting ourselves. Like it was terrible. Like I mean, we'd like power clean max, and like we never got proper form advice. And power clean is one of those movements where like I hurt my lower back doing that in my sophomore year, and like it's never been 100%.
That was another factor in my labrum tear.
I hate power clean.
Improper power cleaning.
Oh, I hate power cleans. Like
It
they
was so
loved it.
bad.
They hate deadlift, but they love power
Oh my
cleans.
gosh.
I love deadlift.
Like my philosophy with people that I coach or who come train in person at my class, like first thing I do is I run you through a warm up that's going to have your functional core work. That's going to have little things like, okay, I noticed that your ankles look a little stiff, so we're gonna do some ankle distraction.
I don't know why you're
type
looking at me
situation.
like this. I'm like, I'm not that stiff, Matthew.
Well, and then from there, I analyze their body weight squat because that's going to tell me a lot about how they move. And if they can't perform at least a semi-decent body weight squat, they're not getting under any load. And that's the problem with a lot of high school and even some college sports programs and lifting programs, because they're going to put a barbell on anyone's back and in anyone's hands, when in reality they need to start from the bottom up and at least get them moving properly, and then maybe let's add in a dumbbell, a kettlebell, let's do a goblet squat to a box because they can't squat deep at all, and then slowly progress to a barbell when I know that they are proficient enough with these other movements before loading their spine, because that's how you can prevent a lot of injuries and burnout and just other issues like that.
I'm hearing everyone should get barefoot shoes.
Oh, I do have everyone get barefoot if they're not wearing proper footwear. But proper footwear for each individual could be barefoot or it could be heels.
Like mine's really good. Like it's Dunks, Jordans. Those are like my proper.
I remember when I first heard that, like, because looking at that, you think it's not an awful shoe.
Oh, my feet are.
But then I heard, I listened to this guy, the Barefoot Sprinter, and he's like me times a million about barefoot shoes.
Oh, dear God.
Like, yeah. He's so fun to listen to, but he was like, worst thing you can wear? Jordans. And I was like,
That makes me so. I love Jordans. I love Jordans so much.
That's when I got rid of my Converse because
Oh, I wear Converse.
I loved Converse. Like,
I've had probably
every
can't
single
stand
day.
Converse.
Yeah.
I can't stand Converse and Vans. I don't like.
I can't wear them anymore because
I have 4 pairs in my room.
I'm so conscious of my foot and my toes and I know.
What-
Now, is it mostly when y'all are looking? So obviously, like these are ideals, those are ideals. But let's say it's like those did exist and you didn't like.
You want to know what I do? This is going to answer your question. Every time
don't even
I
know what
walk
my
in a
question
room with
was.
someone, I was like, who's got the best shoes on in here?
Anyways, my actual question was gonna be like the first thing you look for is a wide toe and
Zero drop.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like as long as you kind of see those, it's all right within reason.
Which,
These are good.
if you look back, I'm old in the sport. When deadlift shoes started coming out, they started out as like a slipper similar to the ones that they would put on people in nursing homes. It was literally just a sock with a rubber base. That was it. I hated wearing them because like my foot slid a lot, but that was the only option we had then. And then it moved up into slowly started getting like deadlift shoes.
When did like the Sabo? You know the Sabo?
Yeah, those were.
Those been out for a while.
Because I think they're sick, but they're not foot friendly.
They're not foot friendly. They've been out for a little while. I just remember because I got a pair of the deadlift slippers that was when I could have never pulled sumo in them though. I pulled them conventional, but sumo would have been a terrible idea, because I was trying to get away from my Converse, and then I went to wrestling shoes, which weren't bad. But the issue with wrestling shoes is a lot of them aren't completely flat on the bottom. Like they have like ridges and they have little bumps and stuff, and I could feel every single just little thing on the bottom, and I felt like my ankles were unstable.
Yeah.
And then Notorious Lifts came out with their shoes. I'm like,
I love
ooh,
those.
I'm getting these.
Yeah.
How do you like those?
Now that I've been in
really?
barefoot shoes,
I did the same
Now I
thing.
want your opinion on the new ones they announced.
I don't have those yet.
Yeah. Well,
so
I don't
know.
I don't know if they've sent them
I
out
think
yet.
all three of you DM'd me that post when it came out.
Yeah. Like second I saw, I'm like, oh my god, Matthew's going
Matthew's
to
gonna
lose.
freak out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I haven't
no,
gotten them though.
they were my favorite up until like I started wearing barefoot shoes, and now I feel like my feet are constricted.
They're very, very pointed.
Yes.
What, the Notorious?
I gave
Yes.
mine away.
Like,
Yeah,
literally
I
for
gave
free.
mine away
Wow.
too.
I was like,
That's crazy.
I can't
just
wear
did.
them.
I actually I
Yeah.
deadlift with these now, and I like it because I have enough space for my toes, and my feet aren't sliding too much,
Yeah.
and I have really good grip.
How do you
I
feel
love
about
my
the
Notorious.
Hyper-Vs that Matthew has?
I hate them.
God.
I hate those.
I
so
can't
much.
wear them unless I'm actually. I will say, because I was like, Matthew, is this like
He
a
compares to
mind thing?
wraps.
I wore it. No, I didn't.
They
I
come
wore
on right when you're about to do it, come right off
yeah.
after.
I wore my Vivos to bench yesterday, so I tried both, and they do help, but they are so tight. They're not. They're just normal, but I can wear. I put them. They're like wrist wraps. I put them on when I do my set, and I take them off right after.
Oh, I
See,
just
that's weird.
I just
Yeah.
wouldn't do that. I mean,
Pair of Hyper V's for sale. Let me know if you want them. Coach says
I
they
like
suck.
simplicity. I'm not
so
like.
I do not. I
I just
Not
personally could never be me. All right. Just
Personally, I just wear these shoes and wear them. Everything.
you will never find
No,
me in
it's
those
terrible.
things.
I mean, I literally have deadlift shoes, squat shoes,
Yeah.
and then my normal shoes. In the gym, at any time, I have three
Yeah,
pairs of
I've got
shoes.
3 pairs of shoes
It's
on
terrible.
I mean, I just have these for squat and deadlift, and then maybe my Hyper V's.
Well, now that I have gone more simplistic, I could just go and lift anytime I want because I just wear these shoes.
All three of
Like
them.
literally, my gym bag went from probably this big to okay, I can fit everything.
You were
in this
like,
bag.
Matthew, your gym bag looks like you're lifting a crate and you're raw. I'm like, yep,
Yeah.
I bring everything to
Yeah.
the gym with me.
Because I had my deadlift shoes, I had my squat shoes, I had 1 or 2 pairs of knee
Yeah.
sleeves, I had my wrist straps, I had
got a couple pairs
my
of knee
bands
sleeves.
that I had to warm up with, plus everything else, and then throw in equipment. Lord, when I'm in equipped, I have to like have a suitcase.
Yeah, equipped, it's insane.
For your knee sleeves,
Mm-hmm.
what brand did you wear? SBD? Do you wear the Inzers? Like, what do you wear? What do you think is
I
the best?
wore the SBD for the longest time.
Have you ever tried the Inzers?
I have not, and then I wore Stoic sleeves because SBDs were starting to
You're the
leave
same
like
person.
blisters on my calves because the thing I don't like about SBDs is they're super tight around the bottom, like the calf area, but then they get super loose up on the quad, and so my knee sleeves would just bunch over my knees. Like they don't do anything other than keep my knees warm.
Oh my god, that sucks.
Okay, that's fine. Just continue. But we gotta wrap it up.
But I had better. The Stoic sleeves stayed up a little bit better.
Okay.
But I alternate between. I have old SBD. I don't have anything new. Like
Okay.
my stuff is old.
Have you heard of the new, I'm nowhere near my mic, but the,
I was telling her about
Oh,
these tonight.
I've seen all of
Do you
the
think
thing
they're-
on Instagram.
do you think they're actually going to be comparable? I think they're going to be not nearly as good as the Inzers.
I think you're gonna have to have a lot more weight because they are more like a knee wrap.
Literally.
So you think they're going to be comparable
best.
to the Inzers?
I think it's gonna be way harder to wear them.
Really? That's
I'm buying
crazy. Yeah, those are getting
If you can
purchased.
get them on.
So it's
If there's a will,
I
there's
feel
a
like
way.
I bought medium-sized Inzer knee sleeves.
yeah.
They almost got stuck on my.
So I wore small Inzers, and I could get those on. And then at 195, I got extra small.
Oh my
Stoics, and I got
That's
them on.
nuts. Like I'd wear small SBDs for the longest time.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Well, okay, the Stoics, I feel like because they don't have that like ribbing binding.
Cuff,
Yes,
almost.
I can wear I think I have a medium in Stoics and I have an
Yeah.
extra large in SBD. But I've never tried the Inzers.
Did Marissa just get them?
Marissa did just get them,
Yeah.
and she is tripling more than her previous one on
Jeez.
Red.
Yeah.
So
That's
it's-
crazy.
But
So I need to order.
It
Wow.
is,
but they wear out so quickly.
but she is putting in a ton of work. Like,
Yeah.
I've never coached someone who can recover like her.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Like, I can push her and
That's a
push her
big
and
thing.
push her and push her, and she might get a little sore,
Yeah.
but her recovery is insane. And she has been drug tested.
Hey, I got
meet-
drug tested states.
Every meet she's been drug tested. So like, she's clean,
Yeah.
but her recovery is the best that I've seen.
Yeah. There's some people that do it.
And
It's just insane.
It's insane. It has to be genetic.
Yeah.
Like literally,
Bro,
it has to
Well,
be
you
genetic.
said when you coached Kyle, Kyle's was
Yeah.
like.
So I was like helping
unbelievable.
Kyle, and it was a
You weren't helping. You were coaching them.
okay.
Yeah,
well,
you were
yeah.
coaching him.
But it was a just nonstop. Like he couldn't
Yeah.
like slow down, and every time like you see him like doing something, his weight's always going up. It was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Like you just couldn't figure it out. Yeah.
How have you noticed our recoveries?
Your recovery is sometimes it can be good or it can be like.
I think mine's
Bad.
emotion based.
I was about to
So,
say the same
yeah,
thing. It just
mhm.
depends on where you are
Emotional.
You
mentally.
emotional child.
No, 100,000%.
Yeah.
Emotionally.
Yes.
I think it's about to
100%.
start getting a lot better.
That's good. As for Noah, I'm still learning.
I'm pushing every week. I've gotten more
Yeah.
weight every single week.
Yeah.
Also, yesterday with the pause
Yesterday
deadlifts,
was crazy.
I held 440, kind of felt heavy, and I was like, doesn't matter. So I went up, I did like 485, and I was like, it felt all right. And then I did 505, and
Yeah.
then I did the 515 for
2 sets.
2 sets. But yeah, that was exciting. But I pushed past that. I originally thought it was going to be a bad training day, but then it ended up being one of the. I
Yeah,
had
really
more fun
good.
yesterday than I have in a long time.
Yeah.
With doing that, and I was really excited about that. Well, yeah, Matthew couldn't come.
I was bummed. The whole team was at Marietta.
Yeah, we had
except
like
for me.
6, 7
Dang.
people there.
Yeah, it was
Never
a lot of
reffing a
fun.
meet again.
But deadlifts?
Yeah, you are.
After you.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, you are.
I need.
About to say,
I need
you're
more
like a week and a half
referees.
Am
out.
I the only one right now?
You and David Goodwin.
Okay.
David
good
is
one.
testing Siraj for his
He's getting his.
Nah.
Good.
his state referee.
Oh, he's not a state ref.
No.
I thought he was yeah.
You can only get your national ref at nationals, right?
And after you've been a referee for
2 years.
2 years, and you have to meet X amount of criteria.
Yeah.
So
I
4
think
meets a year.
I think I've still got like a year and a half.
Well, no, you have to
Got
have
mine
sat
late.
in the chief referee chair for X amount of
right.
sessions.
Oh, yeah.
Side referee chair, X amount of sessions. Drug testing,
I need to do a couple more.
weigh-ins.
I know
Not
my
a
drug
lot.
testing now. Drug testing it can be a battle. Like, I was in there for like a good 2 hours
Oh, God.
testing this one
I think it was
guy.
the True Board knockout
And
or
it-
something. I
It's
don't,
like,
you'll sit there for 2-3 hours
Yeah.
with some people.
I'm not going to pull my phone out, like, this guy's not wearing any clothing, that's awkward. So I'm just
No,
like,
at that point, I would have had him put clothes on and then take him back to wherever you're doing the paperwork and just hang out.
see, I didn't know these things.
Yeah, dude,
He had like water running, and he was like,
Yeah.
Yours-
No, at that point,
Yours
you should have
stopped
just
recording.
taken him
I'm
out.
just letting you know.
Okay, we gotta wrap this up.
we got it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Our
yeah.
stuff's starting to die.
We talked
Just
too
lean
much.
in on her mic now.
All right.
I'll leave it
Well, huge thank you to Becky for coming on the show. I think this is one of the most fun podcasts we've recorded.
Definitely most.
This is my favorite.
Which was awesome.
Whoa!
This was fun. This was fun.
Shout out to Buff
Got the little
Chicks
Yeah.
for all the great stuff they have.
Very impressed. I'm actually very happy with all those.
Where can we find you on social media?
At Pretty Strong Beck is my Instagram, and my TikTok, which I'm mostly on there to browse. Maybe do funny filters with Zoe.
Zoe.
Yes. And then I have an athlete Facebook. I think it's just like Becci Holcomb Powerlifter, but that's about it.
Awesome.
Sick.
Well, we appreciate you coming on today. We've had a lot of fun, obviously, talking and asking a lot of questions. But we're turning the mic. They can't even see that this is happening. But yeah, thank y'all for watching. We try and post the past last week, not been good. But Wednesdays at 3 p.m. and then Saturdays at 10 a.m. You can find us on the 225 podcast on Instagram, TikTok, as well as YouTube and Spotify as well. Follow us on Instagram. We like to keep y'all updated on what we're posting. If we have any special guests. Also, if you would like to be a guest on the show, feel free to reach out. We'd love to have more people on.
That's okay.
This was a lot of fun. We already have one or two more people lined up that we're super excited about. So, So thank y'all for watching. And
keep looking
Noah
at the
Ray
camera.
lifts the Berserker Albany 2.5.
Yep. Thank y'all for watching. 3, 2, 1.
She did.
That was awesome.